Welcome, everybody, to A Glimpse of Shadow, Episode 2. We find ourselves in the Inn of the Prancing Pony, in Bree, nonetheless, as our company have travelled from the Hobbit settlement of Mickledelving, following the east-west road over the Brandywine Bridge, encountering some strange goblins and wolves who should not be in this part of the world, but then travelled on to their destination in Bree. The company is made of Primula Proudfoot, a young hobbit girl from the Shire, Magnar, son of Magni, a dwarven warrior, and Huffer, a ranger known around these parts as Old Huffer, who was sent by a pretty prominent figure to accompany this little small company to the village of Bree. And Primula carries with her letters and ledgers belonging to an ancient ancestor, Wendell Proudfoot, who, for some reason, people seem to be a little bit interested in. Welcome, friends. Just as a little refresher, why don't we have you guys describe yourselves, each of your characters, as you enter the Inn of the Prancing Pony? Sort of, you're coming through the door, taking off your cloaks. It's September. It's early September, so it's unlikely to have been wet. In fact, it's probably rather hot as you arrive in this inn. And let's start with. Let's go in reverse order and have Zylus. Why don't you tell us what Old Huffer looks like?
Old Huffer looks a bit grizzled, bit worse for wear. He looks around to see familiar surroundings and sees if he can spot a nice area for them to quickly sit down, catch their breath. And for him to be able to look at his wound in a bit more detail to see if how bad it is, and also for a quiet area to light his pipe.
I imagine that you have a little regular sort of corner, a nook of the Prancing Pony that I can never remember his name. It's like Barleyman Butterbur, I think, is the owner.
That was the.
That's the one
in the movies.
That's the one in the movie. So
Did you say Barnabas?
Father.
I can't remember.
I like Barnabas Butterbur. I like the fact that they're always a B. It's always a B name, Butterbur. But you likely have your own nook nestled under one of the oil lamps, which is always kept quite dim, probably near a window because everyone knows that you love to smoke your pipe, and not everybody loves the smell of pipe weed, so perhaps like near an open window or a window that can be opened to let some fresh air in. And
also where I have like a clear view of the streets. That's
what I imagine, yeah. So you can look out onto the sort of street directly outside the Prancing Pony, but you can also quite easily look in and see who's arrived, who's at the bar, that sort of thing.
Clear view of the door.
Yeah, so you sort of limp your way over there, and we'll introduce the NPC that you met at the tail end of last time in just a minute. We'll just kind of set the scene for this for a moment. So sort of the three of you sort of make your way over, Huffer sort of leading the way as he sits down and sort of lifts up his leather jerkin and starts looking at the rather nasty wound in his side. Why don't we have Magnar? Rythian, why don't you describe Magnar for us and tell us a little bit about him?
So Magnar runs hot. Like most dwarves, we are sort of sturdy and have no problem with cold because we tend to run hot from a life in the forge, etc., etc. So this sort of balmy summer day when he's wrapped up in helmets and chainmail and everything after a long journey is taking a little bit of a toll. So he's sort of breathing a little heavier than normal and like sweating, is beads of sweat dripping down his beard, and he's like, I desperately need to get a drink or something, basically. So walking in, he wants to first find a place to sit before he can like take off his helmet and let loose for a little bit. He's got a little bit of a hesitant look to his face because while he expected this to be a nice and easy journey, no problems, just the fact that they've already run into some goblins and wolves is having him look a little bit extra at everyone. What if there's danger even here? But other than that, he's trudging over, following along with Huffer, and wanting to make sure to sit down and, as soon as possible, order in some nice cold beer.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I think that you're a seasoned traveler on the road and things like that as well. It's not, you could go up to a bar and order, but it's likely that in a few moments, either the owner or somebody, a serving boy or somebody like that, will come over and take an order for you, because they'll also want to see if you want rooms for the evening and if you have horses and that need stabling and things like that. But sort of as you're kind of warily looking around and huffing and sweating and sort of removing your cloak and sort of trying to cool yourself down, we see that sort of the smallest figure amongst you, sort of in between the shadows, we see Primula Proudfoot, our little hobbit from the Shire. Kirsty, tell us a little bit about Primula. Describe her for us and set the scene with her.
I think coming into the bar, she's probably feeling a little bit out of place, because this is a place for big folk for the most part. I'm sure they're used to having some hobbits around, but not all the time. And she's never really left the Shire before, so this is quite new. Like, everything's quite big, and it's not been a good time on the road really. So it's a bit like, oh, sort of out of the frying pan, and now that we're in this weird place, straight into the fire in a bit, in a way. But yeah, I think she still, like, keeps a bit of a stiff upper lip and sort of comes in just like, okay, this is fine.
I'm okay. This is all right.
Yeah, but I think she's a bit like, oh wow, this is a lot.
I imagine that sort of
Primula stop for a moment to look around or whatever. Does she sort of like halt her approach a bit?
Probably when coming in the door, like, and then if you two were to like move ahead, she'd probably shuffle quickly a bit. Like, oh,
I think, like, after taking a few steps, if Magnar notices Primula isn't like right behind, he very much like, don't fall behind now. Come on.
Keeping an eye on your ward, essentially.
Yeah, I'm taking this very seriously. I think Magnar's very much like expected this to be a milk run, easy peasy, like just tag along just to make sure. And now, after the attack, things are different. So now I'm making sure this young little hobbit lady gets no scratch, you know.
Not a scratch.
I think that as Huffer's pulled you over to his favorite spot and you have the window there, you've arrived, I would say, late afternoon. And Primula, the sun kind of streaming through the window, it's warm in here. And there is, although it is unfamiliar and the sounds are different and it's loud, people drinking, you can hear the sounds of the town outside, this familiar sense of beer and food kind of waft through, and there is something, at least a tiny glimmer here, that reminds you a little bit of the Shire. And we catch the sun as it bounces off of your very sort of honey blonde hair, as we hear Magnar huffing and taking off the cloak and the helmet and sort of kind of sweating. As you sit down, a young, quite rotund young man. He's got the beginnings of like these tiny sort of like ginger mutton chops, maybe like the scruff of a little bit. Yes.
Is it?
Well, hello there, sirs. Hello, and you can see that a young Barleyman Butterbur, very sort of young one. You hear his father calling out like, "Barley, go see what Old Huffer wants," and sort of points him in your direction. And Huffer, you know that this is young Barleyman Butterbur and is being trained in the art of innkeeping for the future. And he'll come over. "Oh, good to see you, Huffer. How are you doing?"
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you, little master. How are you?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. Is there something you've got? It's rare to see you with companions, Mr. Huffer, sir. Is there something I can do? Get you a fine beverage, or hello there? And he sees you, Primula. Hello there, Miss Master. Hello, young Miss. Got some lovely brews in from the Shire and a few bits and bobs, if that's your liking.
Oh, is he talking to you?
I think he was talking to you there at the end. Just the Shire.
Yes,
stuff, right?
yes, you, young miss. Yes.
Oh well, if you have something from the Shire, then I'll have.
I think we've got a barrel of Green Dragon somewhere. I can go and fetch that for you.
Now there's a drink.
Oh, and you, of course, Master Dwarf. I can get you something as well if you fancy.
A pint of beer and keep them coming.
Oh, of course. And you see that he looks at you, because Magnar is very well dressed and has very fine clothing and equipment, right? Like he's a very wealthy dwarf.
When like helmet and like full battle gear is off, he's dressed fairly well. Like
and there's like jewelry in the beard and
comes from money, you know, like not like noble king by any means, but definitely like solid trader material.
Yeah, of course. Like dwarves are very wealthy.
For me, my usual pint of goat's milk and some old Toby, if you still have some.
Oh, I can certainly see I can rustle up some and see if we can rustle something up, sir. It's not normally something that we sell a lot ourselves, but we know that we keep a few small barrels on the side. And he sort of, you see that young Barleyman is sort of when the talk about drinks and pipeweed, he's like looking at Huffer like, yeah, but are you good for it? And then he sort of notices how richly dressed Magnar is, and he sort of looks over at his father who's behind the bar, a sort of much broader, square-jawed version of him who sort of just nods his head like, yeah, no, it's fine, the dwarf will be good for it. And he's like, well, absolutely. And would you be liking rooms for the evening as well? Huffer, we've got, I can fit you up in your old back room if you like, but we've got something far more comfortable and nice for the two of you if you're traveling through. If you're intending to stay the night, I can go get those ready for you as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're definitely in need of a rest.
Oh, indeed, yeah, absolutely.
My usual will be fine.
That's not a problem. And he looks. And what was your name, young miss from the Shire?
Oh, my name's Primula Proudfoot.
Well, Miss Primula, we've got some hobbit rooms at the back, sized for you if you would like. Yes, of course, we have hobbits come up from Buckland all the time, coming by this way, so we like to make sure that we've got accommodations that are well suited. We don't want you falling into a giant, tall folk bed after all. You drown in it. Look at you.
Don't want that.
Get me a room near hers.
Yes.
Over her, so want to make sure.
He sort of looks at you and he says, well, I could do that, Master Dwarf. It's just that the rooms near that side of, here on the lower floor at the back, well, our nicest rooms are up at the top. So I just want to make sure that it's up to you. I mean, the nice rooms are upstairs, but, if you'd like, I could definitely get the common room.
Mr. Magnar, I'll be fine. Don't worry.
There's a small pause as Magnar's like weighing in his mind. Nice room. Close to ward. Nice room.
Would Huffer know would Huffer know if his usual accommodations are close to prisoners?
Yours would be closer to the hobbit rooms, because basically the way that the Prancing Pony is it sort of extends into the hill behind it, and so the ground floor goes into the hill, and the hobbit rooms are kind of on the far back side with little round windows, and they look out, and it's quite hobbity. It's sort of like under the earth. It's narrow. They're smaller buildings, but also the cheap common rooms are back there because there's no there's no windows, there's no light. It's like you are in the cheap rooms basically at the back. Whereas at the top floor, they've actually got windows that look out onto the town. They're like open air. You can sort of enjoy them a little bit better. So Huffer's would be basically over the hall, opposite the other side of the hall.
I would interrupt and say, don't worry, Master Dwarf. My accommodations are close enough.
All right, but you'll better be shouting if something goes down. I'll be there in a flash. So I'll be running. Hop down the stairs. I'll get there quick. So if there's any problem, and I mean any problem, you shout for Magnar, okay?
Oh, there wouldn't be any problem. You wouldn't have any problems here tonight,
of course. I meant...
That seems like a fine establishment. I'm sure everything will be fine.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Magnar does like this place, but he's decided that on this journey, someone needs to be the one that is suspicious of everything, and he's taken that role.
He's taking that role. I love it. I think it's very, very fitting, to be fair. Excellent. Young Barleyman very quickly attends to all the needs. Rooms are prepared. I'm assuming Rythian Magnar would, drop off, a sack, small sack of coins, make sure it's all paid for and everything else.
I'll make sure it's properly paid for. Like, this shouldn't be
it's not going to be a big expense.
cut in my money. Like, and if I can help out my pals to make sure they're paid for as well, of course.
Yeah, I think it's like both you and Primula would be quite at ease paying for a couple of nights, or even, for the two of you, like, weeks here at the inn wouldn't be too much of a problem. Huffer, I imagine that you have a deal with the Butterburs where it's just like, okay, Huffer, we'll give you a cheap room as long as you do like chores and odd jobs around the town and do a bit of hunting for us and things like that. So it's like you don't have to worry about paying for it.
Keep an eye out for trouble and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, keep an eye out for trouble. Maybe do a little bit of like game hunting, like, oh, we're running a bit low on venison. Can you go grab a deer or something like that? And you bring that in and, you have like an arrangement with them.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of those cases where if there honestly hadn't been a big fight where I fought sort of side by side with Huffer, I feel like Magnar would have maybe been a little bit more reluctant in paying for this stranger, but now that we've shed blood together, absolutely, Huffer's not gonna have to pay to sleep here. He's one of the group right now, for sure.
Well, like I said, I think certainly Huffer's drinks you can cover. They're not going to cover that in his pipeweed, but the room is an arrangement he has with the owner, so you don't need to worry about that. You're just literally paying for you and Primula. But if you want to pay for his drinks and pipeweed, the Butterburs are certainly not going to complain.
I think for a variety of reasons, including out of character, I will pay for his drink, not for his pipeweed.
Okay, perfect.
I will not pay for the pipeweed.
Okay, perfect. So I think that what you are brought then by young Barleyman, Zylus, it is like a small pouch of pipeweed. It is not going to be a significant amount. But
I take what I can get.
Yeah, you give like a bronze coin or whatever, a copper coin. You sit down, you all kind of take this moment in. Primula, young Barleyman, brings you over a hobbit-sized pint of Green Dragon Ale, a much bigger dwarven pint for Magnar.
Now we're talking.
Small tankard of ale for Huffer and the pipeweed and things like that.
I asked for goat's milk.
Goat's milk. Sorry, my apologies. Apologies.
That's fine. I'll take that one.
Yes. No. Yeah. They'll pass that over and bring you your glass of goat's milk that you've requested. And it isn't long before another figure enters the prancing pony as night begins to descend. No, maybe not night. Maybe it's like sundown. The sun is beginning to set. And as you have taken a few moments of your time, you've probably rebound your wounds, Huffer. You've had a good couple of drinks and maybe a little bite to eat. This figure enters that almost brings the entire place to a very hushed quiet. Everybody senses the presence of this person, and this alien silence sort of falls. There's still the sound of the dogs and the noise of outside, dogs barking, people walking past. There is still like the clink of glasses and things like that, but there is this hushed moment as a figure in a beautiful blue velveteen cloak enters with such an unnatural grace. It's almost like their feet are not touching the floor. Young Barnabas Butterbur the looks and is just sort of stunned and sort of bows their head as this figure just breezes past them, quickly looks around the room, and then spots you, Huffer, and makes their way over towards the group of you. When they pull back the hood, you can see that they pull back the hood with just one arm, and they reveal it reveals an elven man. He has long, dark hair pulled back into a ponytail. He has two long elven ears, but you notice a couple of things. First, his left eye and most of the left side of his face is missing. It's been sort of clawed away, and he has like a partial like hood covering for it, almost like a kind of wrap around the side of his face, embroidered and with delicate sort of pieces of jewelry attached to it. But you can see that there is very clearly heavy scarring that has probably damaged this elf's face at one point. You also notice, I would imagine all three of you very quickly, this elf appears to only have one arm. The other side of his body is he does not really move or doesn't seem to use, is always using his right hand. And he bows very deeply. "My governor," he says to you all. which I think probably only Huffer would know is an elvish greeting. It just means well met.
Okay.
How about Dad?
The one word you know.
Hey, it works in this scenario.
It does.
It actually works, yeah.
He smiles and says, thank you. Greetings. As I am to understand, I am Kalen here. I am a friend of Mithrandir and Lord Elrond. I have been sent to meet you. I've been led to understand that you carry something that Mithrandir was interested in, and he felt that I may be able to assist with it.
Do you have any proof that you are indeed the one we're looking for? I think Magnar isn't like, obviously elves and dwarves have a little bit of a complicated history. I don't
especially your father.
Magnar, specifically my father. I don't think Magnar is the type to like snipe or be like petty, but there's certainly a level of distrust in general about these elves, you know?
Sure.
The thing is as well, Huffer has been like told, of course, by Gandalf that someone was coming, but I don't know many details.
No, not at all.
So I would also require some proof in some sense before giving anything up.
You see,
I think Primula is just staring at them like, oh.
Yeah, so like, is Primula, this is the first time, like, you've heard the stories of elves, you know, you've heard the songs that Bilbo brought back, you know, you've heard the tales of his time in Mirkwood and meeting Thranduil and all of these, you know, elves. But... And I imagine that elves do pass on the outskirts of the Shire, but you're sort of kept quite close at hand with your family, right? So you've probably heard of other hobbits running off to like try and find the elves, or like, you know, there's an elven maiden singing down by the river, and you've not been able to go because it's just a little bit too far. So is this just like you're just sat there wide-eyed looking at this
Pretty
man?
much, yeah. I don't think she's ever laid eyes on an elf before, so she's just like, oh.
First of all, I would love let's get some dice rolling. I would love for you all to make a insight roll on this, just to see what kind of vibe and see what you can pick up about this elf. Oh, Gandalf Rune from Magnar. Primula, you are just absorbed into the sort of etherealness of this figure.
Another one.
Oh,
not quite. That's an eye of
that's the eye. Yeah, that's not the Gandalf rune. That's the eye.
Which counts as
it was favored, so the Sauron didn't matter, I guess. But
yes, but does not quite get enough, as your paranoia perhaps Huffer is leading you there. As a reminder, again, just to refresh people on the rules a little bit. So when you make a dice roll in the One Ring, you roll a d12 called the Feet die, and it has 1 to 10, and then it has the Eye of Sauron and the Gandalf rune as options. The Gandalf rune is an automatic success. The Eye of Sauron counts as 0. And can have narrative effects as well. You then also roll, in addition, a number of d6s equal to your like skill, skill level, and you add it all up together, and then you're trying to be a number that is on your character sheet. So, for example, Magnar had to be a 16, but he rolled a Gandalf rune, so he automatically succeeds. Primula had to be a 14, and her roll was favored, so she got to roll twice, the d12 twice, took the 7, but only got a 4 on 2d6s, so didn't quite get enough to beat it. And then same with Huffer, he had favored, but just again did not quite. In fact, you were 1 point under Huffer's success there.
A story of my life.
Story of your life. But just a little bit to explain the rules a little bit. Magnar, and I think that this actually in a weird way makes sense that Magnar, you're the one that picks up on this. You're sort of talking to this elf, and from the moment that they've sat down, I think that you can pick up on the way that Kalen here looks around, the way that Kalen here kind of carries themselves. This is a former warrior who has had to give up that life. Probably due to the injuries sustained, but perhaps due to something else. There is that ever-present elvish... Arrogance is a very strong word. Perhaps you would see it as arrogance. That's probably a little bit knocked back with Kalen here. He's a lot more, sometimes a little uncertain or a little sort of wary.
like I think Magnar looks at him and goes like, all right, like this is one of those arrogant, full of themselves, graceful elves, but then he suffered some sort of serious injury, and that's knocked him down a couple of pegs. So whatever he was before, he's had to sort of mellow to a certain degree. And I think his warrior's soul recognizes that, like, okay, like this isn't some sitting around in a garden singing all day. Like the fact that he is this injured means that he was very much on the front lines, very much fighting, very much risked his life, and Magnar assumes for a good cause. So yeah,
and I think that you can see that there is a short sword scabbard on the belt, hidden by the cloak and the robes, but like, you know, it is a very well kept blade. Okay. But you see Kalen here just sort of nods his head. Of course, it is very wise of you to be in doubt. There are foul forces at work and that travel the roads, but I have come, well, at least I hope that this will prove enough. And from his pocket, in sort of his sleek grey silvery robes beneath the blue cloak, using his right hand, he pulls out it is a perfectly round and smoothed river stone that has been perfectly engraved with the Gandalf rune that Huffer, you would know Gandalf uses to mark things or places that are important to him, and it is generally seen as a sign of, like, I am a friend of Mithrandir, I'm a friend of Gandalf's. Yeah. And he sort of slides that in front of you. And I think Magnar and Primula, you could both make a craft roll for me.
Okay.
I just want to get some dice rolling and see if you can pick up on some extra information here.
No, great.
Nope. Again, I think
I gave up the crafting life. I wanted to fight instead.
No,
I wasn't far off.
You weren't far off. So the two of you, like, it just looks like a stone with a rune carved onto it. So what you make of that is up to you. But for Huffer, this is almost certainly something that Gandalf gave. Yeah.
I'll speak up.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that magic?
It was, I believe that Mithrandir made it with some magic, yes. But it is something that the Grey Wizard gives only to those he trusts. And you see that...
It is a sign that we can trust him, little lady.
Do you have one of those, Huffer?
I think, Huffer, you probably so. Well, no, I think you would. I think you would have like a small wooden token with something like that on it. Yeah, I think so.
I have a shittier version rather than like a really pretty marble. I've just got like a
it's like a beer mat that he's put it on.
That's nice.
just a branch.
Yeah. But I think that you were entrusted with something.
Can I make a request, Mark?
Sure.
Could my pipe be engraved with?
No, I think. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely. So, like, you flip the.
About that.
I like the idea that Huffer takes it out of his mouth. You show the bottom of the pipe or something.
Yeah, exactly. I would do that. So, look at this little lady.
Oh.
That is.
Same symbol that.
Why did he put it on there? He didn't get a nice stone.
Well, I don't care much for stones.
Right. Well, I take it then that we can trust this elf.
I'm a friend of Mithrandir, and I have been sent here by Lord Elrond of Rivendell. Alas, Mithrandir's business has taken him far out to the west, and Lord Elrond seldom leaves Rivendell himself these days. But there is something that concerns both of them. Something that Mithrandir, for some reason, believed that these... I believe you carry some letters and ledgers, my young lady?
Oh, yes. I got them somewhere, and I'll go into my pack.
Stop
and I'll
rummaging through your pack.
Yeah. I pull out wrappers from the food that I brought on the road.
You start putting those on the table.
Yeah.
You see that Kalen here waits with this, incredible elven grace and patience. There's maybe, but I think you do see like a very slight smile at the corner of the mouth as you're sort of like, oh, it's in here somewhere, and sort of digging around.
I put them on the table and I dust off some crumbs. I'm like, there you go.
Is there like a splodge of jam on like the leather coating to one of the ledgers?
These super important things.
Yeah. Wait, I think like Kalen
did ask for the jam. So,
Kalen here like pulls out like a very beautiful like handkerchief and wipes the jam off, and then sort of gently folds it and leaves it on the side of the table. Yes, these are very much it. Mithrandir believes that this Shire Hobbit was connected or somehow knew a great king of old in the north, and may have information to something of rather great importance. But it may take me some...
That's what in those letters then? Information about the great king?
The thing is I do not believe this... From what Mithrandir has told me, this Shire halfling, this, is it Wendell Proudfoot? And he looks to you, Primula.
It was Wendell, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, that's your ancestor.
It was, yeah. Aye, that's right. I don't know about knowing about no kings, though. I feel like I would have known about that. I think you would have told me.
This is the curious thing, is it is believed that the friendship between Wendell and the great king, Avendue, was quite secret. For they embarked on some sort of scheme together. And Wendell, we recovered a letter that was sent a few days before the king, Avendue, of the kingdom of Arnor, travelled to flee an oncoming army. A letter from Wendell Proudfoot of the Shire that simply said that they had hidden their secret where few would think to look. And Mithrandir believes that Wendell was quite a cunning fellow and may have left clues or some sort of code or riddle within their letters and ledgers. And that is why I have been asked to come and to see if I can glean what this hidden message may be.
I would not doubt it. Many make the mistakes of underestimating the hobbits, but I think we've seen plenty times enough that they are more than meets the eye.
Indeed.
Isn't that right, Primula?
I'd say so, yes.
My Lord
Very
Elrond.
capable folk.
My Lord Elrond
Now, what
speaks
about
of you
this
very
secret?
highly.
Oh. Well, thank you very much.
I will. So if you will permit me, Primula, was it?
Aye, that's right.
If you would permit me a few days, perhaps, to go over these letters and ledgers to see what I can find, I would be delighted to share whatever I can learn with you as well. If you have a few days, if you are willing to spend a few days here in Bree.
Oh, of course. Is that all right, Magnar? Can we stay?
That should be fine. I don't see any problems with that. If that's all we're being paid to do, of course. Little vacation in Bray, so to speak.
I did tell Mr. Bilbo we'd be back soon, but if we have to stay...
If Bilbo's
then we have to
involved
stay.
with this, then certainly he would imagine that will take some time.
And I think
I wonder how many people he told he'd be back soon when he went on his little adventure. And he was gone for quite a long time.
I think Kalen here looks towards you, Huffer, and you see sort of a knowing look, because you and Gandalf had a previous conversation that whatever is in these letters and ledgers concerns something a bit greater. And if Gandalf asked for these letters to be brought, and it sounds like he probably very specifically requested Bilbo to send Primula and Magnar, here, it will probably lead to something beyond that. But Kalen here will nod their head. You have my thanks.
I nod back as well.
I will take these and begin to analyze them, and will let you know as soon as I learn of anything in particular. Have you looked at them yourselves at all on the journey?
No, I've not had any looks at all.
It's
I
perfectly all
quite
right.
forgot about them, honestly.
I even asked her and she said no, that wouldn't be right, which I didn't expect that to be the case.
Perfectly all right. I just wanted to know if there was anything you had noticed that may help me, but I'm sure that I will get to the bottom of it in some time.
And once you've read these letters, will you tell us where we're going next, or are we just to return home at that point?
If there is something of import within these letters and ledgers, Master Dwarf, I believe that the forces that have guided you here, the people involved, well, I believe that it may very well lead to something of great importance, perhaps even the safety of this area, and that perhaps it is more than just a simple errand that has brought you here. There is something there is something moving in Middle-earth. There is something shifting. And I agree with Mithrandir that these letters, there is something more of importance to them. I do not know, but... Yes?
Sorry, can while this is all happening,
Yeah.
can I do a little awareness check just to see if anyone is listening
A
in?
very good idea.
idea.
Yeah, absolutely you can. Yeah, absolutely. Give me an
I saw the
awareness roll.
goblins that are moving. They were attacked by goblins, and
You
Huffer
were
said about...
attacked by goblins on the road.
Yeah, we had some trouble on the road, which I expected, but not
Great
this
success.
close to Bree. I certainly thought that any goblins would be much further away, so this is unprecedented.
You see, I'm going to come back to that in just a second because Kalen here has something to say specifically about goblins and what you've just said, Magnar. But Huffer, you're listening, but you're keeping your eyes on the crowd. As I said, it's about sunset, the sun's going down, and the prancing pony is getting fuller and fuller. And the initial awe and mysticism of this elf has sort of waned, and everyone's kind of going back to their conversation. But you glimpse that there is someone, a sort of rather unsavory looking character who has been shifting closer and closer in your direction, trying to not look like they're listening in, but you get the impression that they are very much listening in. And they were very alarmed. They didn't have the same awe and majesty when Kalen here sort of revealed themselves. They looked more scared and worried. And you can see their eyes kind of flicking to Magnar's axe and his armor and things like that. And you they're definitely trying to listen in on your conversation now.
I think as I noticed this, I would give a little nudge to Kalanir and shift my eyes in the direction of Wisespot without saying a word.
So I think just before you do that, Kalen here starts to respond. He's like, I have been hearing talk here in the village of Bree. I arrived a few days ago. It seems that you are not the only ones. Many travelers on the road and many farmers have been experiencing difficulties with goblins. I do not know the details, but they speak as if they know where they are coming from. And then the nudge happens and he sort of looks and glances over and his one sort of good right eye narrows and he sort of looks and nods back to you. But perhaps that is a conversation for another time. As he sort of lowers his voice and sort of casts his eye that way, Kalen here leans in to all three of you. There are strange folk about on the road. Men of the south and of the north, wild men from the woods. There is something, a shadow clings to them. You should watch yourselves very carefully. The enemy has many allies and minions beyond just orcs and goblins.
I know.
Well, they'll all suffer under my axe if they try anything.
Of that I have no doubt, Master Dwarf. But if you would, perhaps if you are curious about the goblins and the incidents here in Bree, you should speak with the people around the town. I've heard rumors and things whispering amongst the places, but I must attend to these letters. This will take some time and all of my scholarly efforts. So if you'll forgive me, I will retire upstairs to my room where I can go about my work in peace.
Very well.
Nods his head, gathers up the letters and ledgers with one arm, tucks them, has a sort of knapsack strung over across his body, and sort of lifts that up and slides them in. Bows his head. You see that before he heads upstairs, he nods to a very bewildered-looking young barleyman who goes and fetches a glass of wine and hands it to him as Kalen here heads upstairs, basically, leaving the three of you alone for a moment.
Magnar is in the same quarters, I imagine, as Kalen here, yeah?
Yes, he would be upstairs as well.
Nice room as well. Okay.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah. He's an elf of Rivendell. He's not. He's come with some money in his pockets. Yeah.
Not gonna be chilling in the other rooms.
No.
I think Huffer would lean over to Magnar and just basically tell him, Magnar, I need you to keep an eye out for anything suspicious around his room tonight.
You think from him or someone after him?
Something else.
I'll keep my eyes open.
What are you two talking about?
Don't worry, little lady.
There's always a possibility of trouble. Something you have to be ready for when you travel, Primula. Speaking of, I'd like to find out more about these goblins. Whenever you're healed up properly, Huffer, maybe we can go give them a stern talking to. With my axe, I mean, is what I mean.
Very good, Master Dwarf, very good.
Don't go scaring people, Magnar.
Well, no, not I mean the goblins. I'm gonna
Oh,
the
okay,
goblins
that's
with my axe.
all right. But,
Right.
but don't go waving your axe around the town. All these poor people that have been attacked by goblins.
Well, I'm here to help them. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to be waving it at them unless they're in league with the goblins. And I look around.
Well, make sure
So
they are.
glare around at anybody who's nearby. A lot of people quickly avert their gaze and go back to their beer when they see an angry dwarf.
That's what I thought.
I think for you, as we reach evening here at the Prancing Pony, what are your plans? Are you going to kind of just enjoy a few drinks and then head to bed and get some early rest? Do you want to do anything else?
So
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I think for Huffer's, like, when it comes to Huffer, he is quite content just being where he is, but he is a bit on edge, knowing what he knows. So he's just sitting there, kind of smoking his pipe because that calms him down, and he's kind of just pondering what has just happened.
Sure.
And he will probably stay up quite a bit longer because he has this feeling from noticing this character earlier.
Yeah, I think you would notice that sort of that character eventually sort of, you literally watch them, say goodbye to the people around them, finish their drink, and then head out the main door. Like, they leave the inn that evening. The evening itself in the Prancing Pony becomes quite lively as the common room is filled with patrons, after a long, hard day out in the hot sun, beginning of early September. And as the beer and the ale and the mead starts flowing, the common room becomes filled with bolstering ballads of heroes and hearthfires. As people start saying, "And you only know when the violin go," and they start singing all these drinking songs and songs about heroes. Would any of you like to join in?
Yes, 100%. Magnar's got a couple of pints in him now, so he's a little bit ready to not only join in, but to really prove, listen, you want to know about heroes?
Yeah.
And very much like...
And I imagine like a dwarf ballad is you kind of get that Misty Mountain, like it's that low reverberating sort of song that kind of...
Very much.
Yes.
Something like that,
I love it.
Yeah.
I think Primula would join in too. I feel like if we've been sitting in here all day, she would have been like a restless kid, like waiting for her parents to finish something.
Sure.
Just like, are we seriously gonna sit here all day? Like, she would have been ordering food, like looking out the window, just been like
bored.
Are we not gonna go out and explore? Are we gonna be
Well, I think you arrived
and...
like late afternoon, but for a hobbit, maybe you've been here basically all day. But yeah, like you've been in here for a long time.
There's like 3 meals in the span of time that we arrived in now.
Sure.
And she's just been just like, are we gonna do anything? And then the people start to come in, and it's like, okay, let's go.
And there's like a fiddler and somebody with like a flute kind of playing the accompaniment and stuff like that. So the two of you, is Old Huffer a singer, or is he more like a kind of sit back and watch and keep an eye on things?
So Huffer doesn't drink alcohol.
No.
So he's stone cold sober, and he's just not really in the mood for any of this. He's just smoking his pipe, trying to relax so that he gives his wound a chance to heal.
Okay.
But he is just keeping an eye out for Magnar and Primula.
Sure. Well, could Magnar and Primula please make a song roll for me, please? One of the skills in the game is the song skill, to see how good, entertaining, and ballad singing that you are.
Not good.
Well,
Magnar has the enthusiasm, but we'll see if he has skill.
Yeah, don't forget, you can spend hope if you would like on your rolls as well.
It's a bit... I think if he was sober and trying his very best, he would.
He pointed it out.
But he's a little...
It must be important, really. He pointed it out.
He's a little drunk, but I think he's got
Just gonna go for it.
He's very enthusiastic, so I'll go for it. I'll go for it and spend a hope. Here we go.
I don't think Primula knows any of these songs, so eventually she just gives up and just starts dancing.
A great success. A great success.
I sing a song of dwarven heroism in battles and fighting against the shadow.
Well, I imagine there's probably a great ballad of Thor and Oaken Shield and sort of the defeat of the Goblin Town and the Sword Orcrist.
The orcs, that sort of thing. The heroism inherent in dwarven kind.
You get this kind of kind of dwarven song. And Primula, like you've been singing along.
Chorus that everyone really go and then and everyone sings along.
And that's it. And people do they don't know this song, but they very quickly pick up on the very easy. It's a song to be drunk to,
and so that even the most drunk can get the words right.
Exactly. And the patrons they loved it. They love it, and you get lots of cheers to Master Dwarf, kind of like raised glasses. Primula, you enjoy singing along, but you don't know any of these songs, and half the time you're just like making up the lyrics. Also, these are all tall folk, apart from really Magnar, so it's kind of hard. You're sort of like trying to jump up and include it. But they love your dancing and singing and enthusiasm. I'd say that with a great success. Normally you would recover an additional hope, but I think you guys are at max hope at the moment.
I'm not. I've spent a few, so I'm close to max,
basically, you get a successful song roll. You recover 1 hope because you got a great success. I will let another character regain a hope as well.
Okay, who needs it?
I think I'm actually full on hope looking at it, so I am good.
You're good.
I just spent the hope to recover hope, but I like it. Let's go for it.
Fun. It's this is just a random table of evenings at the Prancing Pony. So,
very nice.
Great. You go to bed, you rest. Huffer, you stay up late into the night, but there does not appear to be any sign of misdeeds tonight, at least. And you all spend an evening in rest and comfort. And in fact, we can jump ahead a few days because it is going to take Kalen here a few days to decipher these letters. So, we can sort of jump around a little bit in time. We don't have to, role play out a full day. What sort of things would the 3 of you get up to over the next sort of 4 days, let's say?
I think Primula would want to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine Magnar will be.
I wouldn't be too
running
far away.
After.
Yeah.
I think very much like let Primula go explore whatever. And Magnar then combines that with justifying it for himself. It's like, this will give me a good excuse to go ask people about these goblins and all these attacks and if they've heard anything or know anything. So Primula goes to see and do things, and I tag along, and every time I find someone new, it's like, what about them goblins, eh? Something like that, pretty much.
Every time he finds someone that's like, oh yeah, I was attacked by goblins, she's turning around and just looking at Magnar don't touch the axe. Don't do it.
And what about Huffer?
I think Huffer kind of goes his own way.
Mm-hmm.
He entrusts Primula to Magnar. And he would go about and see if he can find out more about the shadowy figure that he spotted.
Yeah.
That paid attention to the conversation that was had.
Sure. Okay, so I'll give you guys. By the way, you can also now you can decrease your fatigue by 4 because it's going to take about 4 days of travel here, and also your wound heals as well.
Yes.
Huffer. This is going to be the end of it. So but for the purposes of this, there's not really going to need to be any major dice rolling or anything for now. So during your days, Primula, you begin exploring Bree. It is kind of, it's called a town, but Bree is really divided into 4 towns that all sort of merge together. You have ones which are at the bottom of the hill and spread around, and then you have the town which is higher up on the hill. And it is a busy place. You make your way through exploring the various streets, finding the little different markets. There are local craftsfolk here. And yeah, you kind of enjoy exploring this wonderful place, and for the most part it is a friendly and very welcoming place. You even encounter quite a few Bree hobbits. There are quite a few Breeland hobbit families. The mugworts, for example, the long holes.
What a name.
Amazing.
The mugworts and the long holes are, and so you probably get invited round for dinner. You could probably get a Shire hobbit. Oh yes, you must come round for 11's dear. We'll show you how we do it here in Brie, and you kind of get like this kind of local family from out of town kind of treatment. And Magnar, by sort of association, you're invited to come in and enjoy dinner and things as well.
I'll happily accept. With all the hobbits.
Yeah, exactly. And perhaps once you pick up on this, it's like, the next time in your market, Magnar, you're like, oh, okay, we'll get like a nice cheese to take with us to like dinner that we've been invited to. And that earns you a lot of brownie points with the local hobbits.
I probably ask Primula for like a little bit of advice on like how best to make us feel friendly and welcoming and so on. Like, what should I get? What should I buy? And Primula recommends the cheese, and like you gotta,
a good cheese. Yeah, a good wheel of cheese, fine cheese. As you are going about this, the two of you would eventually meet with somebody called Perry Oakstout, who is a local hunter. And you sort of meet him. He's kind of in town, quite nervously talking to several other hunters, and they sort of see you approach, and when you ask about the goblins, like Perry's like, we know about the goblins. We've been having farms. Loads of farms have been attacked all over the place. People on the road. I've got my suspicions on what's happening with it all. Why do you ask, Master Dwarf?
Well, I don't believe that we should see any goblins anywhere near anyone, or at all for that matter.
Oh no, we've not had goblins in these parts for centuries, hundreds of years. Ever since
if you
Nell
have any
took
sort of
care of
suspicion what it could be, then I'd be mighty interested in hearing about it.
Well, we knew that. A bit of local history for you. A few hundred years ago, there's a place up in the hills north of Old Weathertop, and there used to be caves there that goblins used to, make their business in, or whatever it is they do, and they were harassing the town and harassing the people here. So a hunter, an archer, member of the militia, the town militia called Nell, she made her way and took a force, gathered up all the locals, and she took a force and she cleared them out. They fought the goblins. It was a small skirmish, I suppose, in terms of battle, but for Bree folk, it was a big deal. And they cleared out these caves, and they built a little tower near the caves to sort of keep an eye on it. But that was hundreds of years ago, and the people of Bree forgot about it and stopped looking after it and things like that. But me and the other hunters, we've noticed that goblins had been, moving back into that region, a decade or so ago. But they kept themselves. They didn't really come near the town. They've always had a bit of a fear of us. They mainly poached in the forests, and you'd see them in the woods every now and then, but they kept their distance. But then recently something's changed, and I reckon something's come into Nell's Hollow to move them all out, and they've come out in a, they seem to be gathering supplies. They come in, they raid food, kill people, kill livestock, and then they take it back with them. I think that they're up to something.
No, that's a bad sign.
But whatever it is,
I'm supposed to tell you what the problem is. If you even let them take an inch, don't wait long, and then they'll take a mile.
I know. It's one of those things. Unfortunately, us folk don't have the same long memories as you, Master Dwarf, and people are easy to forget and focus on their troubles and forget, what happened in the past. But it's a great shame. But Nell's Hollow, it's sort of northeast of the town, I suppose, up in the hills north of Weathertop. But I don't think that there's really enough of us here to deal with it anymore. Not if they've got in large numbers, or if there's anything particularly dangerous up there. I mean, I could probably show somebody the way, but I'm not sure I'd fare my chances against armed goblins, or worse, if there's an orc amongst them.
What kind of large numbers are you talking about in terms of these goblins? Are we talking 10, 50, 100?
I doubt it's that many, Master Dwarf. I doubt it's that many at all. I reckon there's either somebody stronger who's moved into those caves, or somebody's leading them. They've got themselves a leader who's sending them out to do all these jobs. Now, if what I know of goblins is they're cowardly lot, craven they are, and if the head of the beast can be cut off, maybe the rest of them would scatter. That's my thinking. It's a dangerous task
might
for
be
us.
onto something there.
dangerous task for us folk. But, I'm sure that, there's been stolen goods and all sorts, and I'm sure that maybe, and he's not talking to you when he says this. He kind of turns to you.
No, but Magnar is thinking that way, for sure.
He looks to his mate. He's like, maybe we can find some mercenaries and offer them a share of, the stolen goods as payment. I don't think we've got enough money in the town to pay a mercenary or a band or something like that to go and deal with them. But maybe we could offer him a share of the stolen goods.
Well, depending on how long this is likely to take, then I may be very much available for such a mission. I am currently underway on another mission as it is, but we seem to be having a small break here. So if you'd give me the information, I will see what I can do. I think I can bring my friend Huffer and maybe
Huffer. Oh, Huffer. Old Huffer, eh? Oh, I mean, it should be. Oh, he kind of gets irritated. He's like, well, it should be, rangers like Old Huffer. They should be dealing with this sort of thing and not letting it happen to the town.
Aye. It's a little bit of a mistake that it even got this far in the first place, but yeah, we gain nothing about complaining about it now, do we? So.
Here, Oakley, Perry, there was another ranger, weren't there? That young lass that came by. She was a young one. She came by while Huffer was away. Said she was heading up to old Weathertop for something. Why didn't she go and deal with him? I don't know. She's not come back this way. It's been days now since then. You sure it was a ranger? Oh, she had a cloak and a bow, and she seemed like a ranger. I reckon said she was going up to Weathertop.
Perhaps she's taken a few wrong steps and ended up half in the grave. I'd hope not.
Well, if she's another ranger, perhaps Huffer will know her. Maybe we should ask.
It's worth asking. Either way, if you can get me the details on these.
Well, I say, Master Dwarf, do you have a map with you? Do you have a map of anywhere nearby?
It's in around somewhere. And yes, of course, Magnar has plenty of maps. He's used to traveling and guiding and so on. So he gets one that is like somewhat centered around the Bree area, like ish, so he can see by figuring where to go.
Now, just to check, because I've not used Foundry too much, can you see any points on the map, like named places?
No, we only see the stuff that is the actual art. So
what if you see it now?
Oh,
now you see it. Indeed.
Yes.
So he will crudely mark out on sort of your map of the region. Be like, these hills around here, just a sort of a little north of the Midgewater Marshes. And he kind of marks it there. But in the hills, the Weather Hills, in the base of them, it's an old valley. There's a river that runs through it. It's not a big river, more like a little stream, really. But it kind of cuts through the rocks. There's forests, and there's an old watchtower there, and then caves in the hills themselves. And that's what we call Nell's Hollow.
Well, yeah, I start marking down on the map, like, Nell's Hollow. Taking a look at it, I'm immediately going like, So these woods, the Chet woods, how are they for traveling through? Any issues recently, or?
Chetwood, I mean, you occasionally get a bit of trouble in there from the local wildlife or things like that, but it's mostly safe. There's a small village in it called Archit, which is actually in the Chetwood, which you can stop by for supplies. It's not a big town; it's more like a village, really. They make great bows there in Chetwood. Archit bows. They're it's what I've got, and he shows off a very, very nice polished horn hunting bow. He's like, "This is an Archit bow. It's nice, got
like
good pull to it.
Fine piece of craftsmanship.
It's pretty good. They're good hunters over in Chetwood. Who I learned from when I was a young lad. I wouldn't recommend traveling through the marsh. That's not a good place to be.
Unpleasant times.
They say that.
If I'm to go over there, I expect I'll travel through the Chetwood and then take a straight path up to Hell's Hollow. I think. Nell's Hollow.
Best you do, Master Dwarf. They say that many of the dead that fought in the North War, they were buried in the marshes, and on a dark night they come back. They wander the marshes.
I don't think we should go that way. Maybe there's a nice road that just goes straight there. Is that
unlikely for it to be a direct road?
No?
But
well, I'll tell you what, Old Huffer might know. He knows these lands pretty well and things like that.
With him.
And like
before we set off.
Aye. But I mean, the town Bree would be greatly in your debt, Master Dwarf, if you could do anything about whatever is happening at Nell's Hollow. I mean, these goblins. I mean, give them time. Too much time, and if they can mobilize, if they can multiply, if they can gather supplies, I mean, they'll be a real bloody problem.
It's better to cut them down now than wait until they get too many.
Aye, but
well,
alas.
I'll say this: I can offer you no guarantee.
Of course.
We might have other things planned, but I will say, if we get the opportunity and the time, you can consider it done.
Anything if you can deal with this problem, Master Dwarf, whatever you find there, goods of the people of Bree or what have you, they're yours as far as I'm concerned. You know, you deal with this problem, whatever you find there, whatever they've taken, take that as payment in kind for dealing with the problem.
It seems like a fair deal to me, and I put out my hand to shake.
Yeah, he'll shake your hand back as well. Yeah. This is like a sturdy, calloused hand, like quite a veteran hunter.
Yeah, I think Magnar basically like this dude is good people. This dude is like reliable. This isn't some city folk who's done nothing. This is a guy I can trust, that sort of thing.
Perfect. So you guys kind of find out, and you're sort of spending a few days kind of waiting around Bree. Huffer, if you are still there, Zylus, I do like to check in case you go for a drink or anything. You spend a couple of days investigating that stranger, asking around, and you would learn. You find out from a fellow. You find out from the Sandheaver family, John Sandheaver. You sort of, because you're known in Bree. People know you here, and so people do trust you. And you kind of sit down one night in the Prancing Pony and sort of ask about this. And this fellow's like, yes, I do remember him. He's not the only one, Huffer. There have been a few of them, strange folk from the southern lands, coming up from the south on the Greenway. They say that they're here on business. They say that they're here looking for opportunities, work, that sort of thing. But they've been asking a lot of odd questions around town. Been asking a lot about history, asking about the war in the north with the old Witch King of Angmar, and if any of us are descended from the people that fought in it and things like that. Very odd questions. It's funny you ask about this. There was another young girl who she came by after you had left along the road when you had left a few days ago. It was actually more than a few days ago, because I think it took you 10 days to get here. So you left like 10 days before that. So you've been gone for like nearly a month. And she's like, yes, and I think she was another ranger. She seemed a quiet sort, tall, strong. And she had the same suspicions you did. She saw quite a few of these southerners and seemed rather suspicious of them. And I think she was trailing. She was sort of following a few of them. But I never really heard from them. The last I heard was that she was going to head to Old Weathertop. Said that she had to replenish the cache there or something like that. That was the last thing I ever heard about her. I don't know what was her name? Oh, yes. Lorwyn. That was her name.
Lorwyn. I see.
Would you say
I don't know if I noticed
somehow?
Huh?
That's a magic joke to anyone in
chat,
right?
I see. Yes. That's a new Magic the Gathering thing.
Would I know who this is?
I don't know. You tell me. Like, how connected to your fellow rangers are you? Are you a bit more of like a lone wolf? Do you kind of occasionally meet up with some of the other rangers to like share stories or share information?
Occasionally, like I'm not like still fully like constantly reporting back and forth, but because of just my general suspicions and what I all know, I definitely do keep
an eye.
Keep an eye on the rangers and
sure.
like, report with them every month at least once.
Okay, so I'd say you maybe don't know. You've heard the name and you know of a young, a young ranger, one of the younger generation. You know of this young girl, and she is a member of. There is an older ranger called Orithel. And Orithel she's even older than you are. And she's like a renowned, quite knowledgeable. Maybe she's about the same age as you, maybe. And she's sort of a renowned. She was a former captain, and has a small, not army, but like a band. Like she has a band of rangers and other sort of hunters and warriors. And tends to keep an eye on the lands to the north of Bree. So you know that there is a place called Fornost and Anuminas, which are the two ruined capitals of the old kingdom of Arnor, which is indeed the kingdom of your or the Rangers line, basically.
My forefathers.
Yeah,
Okay.
your forefathers. So Anuminas was the original capital. It got flooded. They built Fornost and moved there. And then when the Witch King of Angmar came down, they had to abandon Fornost, and it was lost and then retaken. But it's kind of been left as a ruin. It's known to the people of Bree as Dead Man's Dyke, Fornost, and it's generally regarded as a bad place. But the Rangers and Orithel, especially her and her band, they kind of see it as their duty to watch over these places and to make sure that the enemy doesn't take a foothold and use them for ill will, basically. And you believe that this Lorwyn was a member of Orithel's band. And it's, you would know that there is generally the Rangers in the region keep a supplier, they keep like a kind of hidden stash of supplies at Weathertop for other Rangers to use, but also sometimes leave messages there. They sometimes go there to like leave warnings or like notes of information about what's going on in the area. And it could be that this young Ranger was sent there to do that.
Okay. Thank you for the information.
Of course. It's been a troubling time. These strangers have got people on edge. And then I don't know if you've been hearing, there have been goblin attacks on the road and farms being ransacked and livestock being taken. People are getting a bit nervous, Huffer.
I've had the misfortune of running into a warband the other day. Dealt with it though. We dealt with it.
Of course. I imagine that you would. But yes, it's been a bit of a troubled time at the moment. But the fellow that you've hit, I don't know any of their names, but they've been sighted around, skulking about. So definitely keep an eye out on them.
I shall do.
Yes, I wish.
Thanks once again.
Of course. Good luck to you. Good day. And so if you make your way, and this is, again, you've been taking a few days to gather a bit of information, sort of take some time to rest and recover, explore the town. And then on the sort of fourth night in the Prancing Pony, when you all sort of gather, you're brought beers and comfort and food. Young Barleyman has set out a table for you. It's kind of like an early dinner, so it's all been laid out for you in a private common room, maybe up in Magnar's room, which has given the three of you a chance to sort of reconnect and chat about what you've been up to over the last few days.
This elf is sort of taking his time with these letters. Were there really that many of them? Didn't seem like there was that many, Primula. And you really didn't take a look? I'd be so curious. I'm so curious about what was in them.
It was quite a thick stack of letters and books.
You weren't the one carrying them, Magnar.
I could have, if you asked me to.
I need to remind you, Master Dwarf, that there are rumors that there are myriad of secrets in those letters that will take some time to decipher.
Decipher? Secrets. Encryption and the like. I'm
sure Mr. Kalen here will tell us all about it once he's done.
Well, I'm trying to decide if it's worth our time trying to go deal with this problem at Nell's Hollow, or if we need to sit here and wait for the elf to be done.
Nell's Hollow?
I give him a basic rundown of goblins, problem,
something has stirred them up, or is
question mark? You know,
It sounds very dangerous to me.
It very well might be, but I suppose the question is, Primula, if you want to tag along, I obviously cannot ask you to do so, and it is my job to keep you safe. So the trouble I have is that bringing you along might put you in danger, but it might also if I leave you here alone.
I don't want you to leave me here. I'll come with you. I'll just stay at the back.
You just be very careful.
I'll be fine. I'm sure that.
And if there's a problem,
those dead people,
if Huffer and I die, you run all the way back, eh?
What?
Tell you what, Master Dwarf. We can go and check out Nell's Hollow. It happens to be in the vicinity of Weathertop, and I need to go and check something.
Weathertop. What's waiting for you in Weathertop?
I've heard rumors that an old acquaintance of mine may have left me a message there.
I see. Well, on the map here, I'd say it depends on which way we go first. If it's just a message, perhaps we go to Weathertop, and then we could sort of circle back down, follow the road to Weathertop, up all the way to Nils Hollow, and then travel down via Chetwood to get back to Bree in the first place.
That would work.
It all depends on what you think you're going to be finding at Weathertop. Is there anything that might improve our chances to deal with these goblins for the best? But on the other hand, the more we wait, the more prepared they'll be as well.
Weathertop has over the years been used as a sort of dropping place for supplies for rangers, so we would find potentially some stuff left for us there.
I think that as you are having this conversation, there is a knock at the door.
And hand on the axe immediately.
Hand immediately goes to the axe, and you hear a sort of soft elven voice like, "My friends, are you there, Magnar?"
Right, it's him.
May I come in? Have a dad, Kalen Hill.
Have a dad.
He comes in, and you can see there is a little bit of a sort of not energy to him, but there is a sort of an excitement as he comes in. He's holding in his one hand this bundle of letters and ledgers, and you can see that there have been copious with a quill, like letters have been circled and sort of there's been some sort of substance that's been sort of rubbed along the edges of the letters, and faint lines of hidden invisible ink have been revealed, and all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, my friends, I've made some significant progress, and I believe I have uncovered the secret that Wendell Proudfoot was trying to hide, and it is quite an important one.
I think as he says this, I think I slowly get up and I would walk to the door where he just came from and open it and stick my, have a look if there's anyone, there.
Sure. I'm going to roll a dice to see, I want to see if I get any certain sort of results and things like that. Okay.
While Huffer's going, Magnar's leaning over and letters and going, "You got a very secretive grandfather, Primula, or was it grandfather, or was it?"
It would be like great.
Back, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like 1,000 years ago.
Grandfather,
great grandfather.
Yeah, it was more like my great.
He can't have been that great.
Huffer,
do I do a roll?
No, you don't. You can make an awareness roll for me, just to see if you can notice anything. But you there's nobody immediately out the door. You don't see anybody sort of moving around the balcony or anything like that. Oh wow!
Oh, that's
still an extraordinary success.
Yeah, because you take the highest, right? You take the highest one. Yeah. You look down and you don't immediately see anybody in the sort of stairwell of the Prancing Pony. Nobody's outside. So you briefly risk, you move up to at the end of the hallway where the upper rooms are. There's a window that looks out, and you glance out and you can see that same southern man that you'd seen before is stood in an alleyway across the street, and is having a hushed conversation with two others in sort of dark clothing. But they're well out of the inn at the moment.
Okay.
Mr. Kalen here, did you spill jam on this?
No, but it does seem that I had a strange thought that what I know of the Shire and hobbits is you enjoy your food and fruits, and I remember speaking with Lord Elrond that a young hobbit who had visited him showed quite an interest in many of the secret writings and skills of dwarven and elven artisans, and I wondered if perhaps a sort of more crude method may have been used to conceal information, and indeed it was. A little juice of lemon and heat.
Jam?
No, the juice of a lemon and some heat revealed the secrets.
Not quite then. Lemon juice.
But this Wendell Proudfoot was your ancestor, Miss Primula.
That's right, yeah.
A very cunning fellow, and, well, one who has performed quite a great deed. And you sort of, Huffer, do you come back into the room, or are you staying at that window for the time being?
I think I want to keep an eye out on that character, but I just have a bad feeling, and
you can sort of still hear this conversation in the room, so you're just keeping an eye on it, right?
Yeah.
A great deed. What sort of deed?
I will tell you a little bit of history first. Long ago, in the final days of the kingdom of Arnor, which I believe in Hobbit history was a place called Norbury. And there was a king, King Avendway, and the hobbits of the Shire referred to him as the King of the North, the King in the North, or King of Norbury. And there was a great relationship between the people of Arnor and the Shire and the people of Bree. But out of the far northern reaches and the kingdom of Angmar came the Witch King, a servant of the great enemy. And they marched on the capital city of Fornost, and great battles were fought in a place called the Lone Lands and North Downs, far to the north of here. And King Avendwy called forth elves and dwarves and men, all to help them fight against the Witch King of Angmar. But curiously, and rather unexpectedly, the Shire sent a company of hobbit archers to aid in the battle. Rare for hobbits to be seen in military campaigns, let alone in such a desperate time. But Wendell Proudfoot was one of these archers, and was a figure of such heroism and cunning that it seems that he caught the king's notice, and they formed a friendship. As the Witch King closed in on Fornost, King Avendwy feared that the Witch King would take the city and the other lands nearby, and so plans were hatched to abandon Fornost, to retreat, but with it, they needed to deprive the enemy of a great prize. A pair of seeing stones called Palantir, the stone of Anuminus and the stone of Amansul. Now, in our histories, and what we learned for many years, was that King Avendwy took the stones into the northeast, out into the sea, but then tragically the king's ship was doomed and shipwrecked, and both stones were lost to the frozen waters. Or so at least we thought, for it seemed that King Avendwy was rather wise and feared that if he was caught or something happened to him, both Palantir would be lost, or worse, recovered by the great enemy. So instead, he had a false stone made that he took with him, and the other, one of the real stones, he entrusted to a friend that nobody would have suspected, Wendell Proudfoot. And he tasked Wendell with hiding the stone, well, right beneath the Witch King's heel. For in these letters, it suggested that Wendell hid the stone within Fornost itself, and a ruse that the king had taken the stone fooled even the servant of the great enemy. And Kalen here sort of looks at the two of you.
Trixie.
And it is from these letters that I have discovered this. Whoops. I will bring this up this way. And I will show this to all players, and you may have ownership of it.
Ooh.
And you see that Kalen here has written out, made from the various letters and ciphers and bits and pieces, a poem that seems to have been constructed by Wendell Proudfoot, hidden within his letters and ledgers. And the poem reads, "A secret stone, a gift of old, power of sight, a touch so cold. By night I swiftly hid it away, near to be found ere light of day. Let no dark king find its place, only a child of hill and grace shall one day seek its hidden bed, neath cat and cradle they be led. Where eyes once lay, I snuck away, my good king's task I can't betray. But if good has need of stone to find, I leave my secrets within this rhyme. WP."
WP, what do you think that stands for?
I think it stands for Wendell Proudfoot.
I knew that. I was just making a little joke.
I believe that Wendell hid the seeing stone, one of them, within Fornost, and then, fearing that the knowledge of its hiding place could be lost, hid a clue in this poem, something that would guide someone eventually to find it again.
Perhaps a certain child of hill and grace, and Magnar points at Primula.
Perhaps. I imagine that one would not know that it would specifically be a descendant. My belief is that refers to a hobbit of the Shire, somebody who may be able to, that for some parts of this rhyme will have greater meaning. What the Seeing Stones are powerful, powerful things that Elendil brought with them to the west. These allow an individual to see and hear at great distances. And once long ago, the kings of Arnor and the kings of men used them to communicate with each other over great distances. However, the enemy has always sought them. The enemy has some greater plan for them. Perhaps that is why these figures have been seen on the road. These goblins and these strange folk are searching for what Wendell Proudfoot once hid in this land.
They're hunting these Seeing Stones. Such a thing would be quite powerful in the hands of anyone, let alone the enemy.
Yes.
Do I still see the shadowy figure?
I think that at that exact moment, Zylus, you see the shadowy figure, and I would say 3 others. There's like a flash of steel at their belts. They sort of they sheath something, they pull their cloaks, and they are making a beeline for the tavern. They are like making their way into the Prancing Pony.
Okay, so I run in to the room and say, grab all that. We need to leave.
What? No.
Now?
Leave?
Okay. Kalen here knows that you are a ranger and will just say, of course, and begins to gather up the letters and things like that. But I think he will press the poem into Primula's hands. He'll actually be like, I think that you should hold on to this, my dear.
She nods. I think while he was reading it and stuff,
Sure.
I think she probably looked really proud, really, really proud.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, oh God, something's happening.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so you kind of gather up. What are you doing at this point, Huffer? Like, how are you intending to do? You guys are on the second floor, on the top of a stairwell that comes from the main common room. It extends into over the top of the hill, and there are windows that look out onto the town. These guys are at the front door. They're coming into the inn of the Prancing Pony now.
Yeah. Would I know of any escape routes from this area?
Jumping out the window?
There's okay, yeah.
To get to the back door, you would have to go downstairs, which is going to take you directly into their path. Now, you could climb out the window and jump onto one of the nearby roofs of a nearby building close to the Prancing Pony, and then try and make your way down from there. But that's probably going to be your only way out without going past these guys in the front lobby, basically.
I'm also just wondering if this is something that Magnar and Primula can even do, because they're smaller of stature.
Maybe you might need to give Magnar a hand, toss him across.
Toss him out.
I think I'll just quickly say, to them, just to explain the situation. The enemy's near.
The enemy! Hand on axe. Immediately. I think Magnar's probably get ready to almost lights up. It's finally tries to do something about these people. But I think ultimately he would listen to Huffer's judgment call here, if need be.
Are they here? What are we gonna do?
You begin to hear footsteps on the wooden stairs coming up, and they've got basically a sort of L-shaped flight of stairs, or a U-shaped flight of stairs to come up. Basically, there's a small landing on the middle point.
Yeah, I think we are.
Point. We can get them.
We've waited too long. I think we have to face them at this point.
Okay,
it's up to you.
Okay.
You've got the window in the room in Magnar's room. There is a window that looks out onto another building and a street beside you, so you could try and jump out that way, and that would be a roll and things like that to try and escape. Or if you want to, you can just try and plow through these 4 strangers coming up the hill. You don't really know what they're planning to do, but I mean, Huffer, it did not look like they had good intentions.
No, I think. Oh shit! I think we have to stand and fight.
Okay.
Yeah, Primula's very much waiting for you guys to make a call.
Magnar is clearly he wants to fight, but he'll listen. So if even Huffer is like, okay, it's fighting time, he sort of lights up and gets ready. He's like, natural choke point, the door.
So is Kalen Deer still with us?
Kalen here is with you, yeah. And like when he sees that he kind of reads the room and realizes that like, oh, okay, they're probably gonna, this looks like it's gonna be a fight. He sort of turns his body half to the side, and with his good hand, he whips out this elegant elven short sword, basically.
Hell yeah.
He says, what is the plan? And what I would love is anybody who would like to, for Huffer, like, this is a great opportunity for like the battle or like leadership and things like that. If you want to try and get like an advantage here, this is a great opportunity to try and use those skills if you would like to.
Yes. So I think
I have a decent point as well. So I think I would defer to Huffer in terms of like tactics and strategy. But if what he says seems a little bit, Magnar is probably still not quite like he's the leader, that he would very much make his own judgment call.
Sure.
If it doesn't sound good, what he's saying, basically.
Sure.
I think I would suggest Kalen, Primula, act naturally. Act as if you're still talking about all this, but don't give away any information. Magnar, you and I, hide next to the door. Be ready for anyone to barge in.
Okay,
yes.
So you're going to kind of go back into the room, shut the door, and take a kind of ambush position, basically.
Yes.
Okay, great. So Primula and Kalen here, like Kalen here kind of like puts his sword down by his side and then uses his cloak to kind of hide it. And then he very casually sits at the table and scatters a few of the unimportant letters and is sort of like directing your attention. So you see here, Miss Primula, that it seems that your great ancestor, and starts just talking nonsense, basically, kind of like, yes,
like, oh,
the way
yes,
that he
okay.
uses his things. So could I get, I think, because I've got to remember what kind of skills there are.
Yeah, I was thinking if like the battle skill, like you mentioned, we could maybe like try to get a good preparation going, how effective our hiding spot, our little ambush thing is going to go. Maybe
yeah, or like even
that.
like you could use battle to be like, is there anything in the room that we could use to give us an advantage, or anything like in the hallway?
I'm ready to like push a chair at them as soon as they enter, or something to like knock them off balance.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a try with a battle skill. It's not favored,
Sure,
but here we go.
You give me that.
I'll pop a hope for this. I think
Okay.
Magnar feels like let's get as much advantage as we can. Here we go.
Oh yeah, okay. I've got a perfect skill for Primula to use actually for this in a minute.
Okay.
Oh well.
I think that for Magnar, you're just like too hyped up. You're just like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna smash him with my axe when they
He's
come
like
in.
trying to be sneaky, but it's like,
Yeah.
can't stop laughing.
There's no
Yeah.
tactics here. Like you just want to fight these guys. So for Primula, I would love a riddle skill to kind of make it look like you're sort of up to, you're like, oh yes, and like you're kind of like you're speaking in riddles with Kalen here to like just talk nonsense basically.
Okay. I'm gonna use a hope point
Sure.
and hope for the best.
Now, don't forget, if you have any distinctive features that you think you can
Oh.
apply,
Oh, there's
still a success
Still a
though,
success.
because you had to get a
Oh,
16.
wow.
So, in fact, it's a great success because you got a 6 in there, so you get an extra result.
Okay.
Wow, I thought Eye of Sauron always
No.
failed.
So
I
the
guess
Eye of Sauron
it's
is a 0,
Okay.
which means it's very hard to get a success without it.
Yeah.
Without like
Yeah.
a high number on the feat die. But if you've got high enough success die, if you've got high enough
5,
skill,
6, 2, 3, that adds up to 16.
Yeah.
so you
I
can
think
just about do it.
Yeah,
on
I
my
did think
end-
about my skills to try and push for another die, but I don't think any of them apply just yet.
Okay. What
I think on
about
my
Huffer?
end, I'm just trying to because I've come up with this plan. I'm generally trying to remain as stealthy as possible.
Sure.
waiting
Yeah, if
for
you
the-
want to do a
for the
stealth roll for
opportunity
me.
to strike. Again, not a favorite skill. I've got 2 points in it, but I think it
You
makes
could spend
sense
a
in
hope.
this scenario.
And again, don't forget
I
those
will.
distinctive
Yes.
features if you wanted to, because you are secretive. If you'd like to spend a hope, that would give you 2 dice. You might have to manually add that one.
I shall indeed spend a hope.
So you can add at the bottom, there's like a row of d6s, and you can add an extra one, I believe. Or it might even say when you, in fact, actually, let me bring up your character sheet. So when you go to do a stealth roll, so you can spend a hope point, and then hope point
How do I even
bonus
do that
die.
from this?
So if you, so when you click on the skill stealth, it brings up the window, right?
Yeah.
And then you can click on the hope die, and then there's a little marker next to it called inspired. And if you click that, it will add the extra one.
Handy.
So you illuminate the hope
that.
point die, and then make sure inspired is lit up, and it should say is inspired.
I don't have those little symbols for some reason on my end.
Oh really? What, on your character sheet?
Representing yeah, like images are gone.
Oh,
interesting.
Would you like me to roll it for you?
Shenanigans or something?
Hold on, let me just close and reopen it.
Sure. Yeah, it's good for you to get in the place.
Let's see. Yeah, I've just got like the broken image, like picture.
Interesting.
Like, next to everything. But I see if I press.
I can also roll it for you if you need me to.
Roll Formula 1-4 is what I see.
Yes, that should be right. 1 feat die, 4 success die. Yes, so that should be correct.
That should work then. Okay.
Yeah. Half in. That's a strange one.
Nice.
It's a Foundry. Oh, an extraordinary
He
success.
loves rolling sixes.
So
this guy.
Doing it.
I think because that means that you guys have got a total of 3 extra successes. Now, Magnar did fail and is a bit too giddy, but I think that those extra successes, like, maybe this is Huffer, like, Master Dwarf, be quiet, kind of like gets you to shut up or something like that, like or like just brings the finger up to the lips.
Or I end up being a distraction, so the Huffer stealth is even more sneaky.
Yes.
We're
not going to do.
You know what I picture?
Go on.
You know the scene in I think it's the 2 Rings where
the 2
they're
rings
in the woods. Sorry, that's not 2 Rings. The
2
2 towers, where they're in the woods following the path of Merry and Pippin, and they're about to meet what they think is Saruman, and they're just looking at each other like, quiet.
So whatever it, you managed to get Magnar to like go silent, and that is going to give you. We're not going to do a full combat here because these guys are really not like elite soldiers. These are kind of like just very, very low ranking cutthroats, like thugs. And they're not expecting big trouble here. So as you kind of hide behind the door, they can hear Kalen here and Primula speaking. You kind of almost hear their breathing outside the door, and in this rough voice, just like, the elf, make sure we get whatever the elf has. And they sort of hush to each other, and then they sort of throw open the door, and they brandish these like little crude kind of like cutthroat knives and hatchets and things like that. And they sort of step in like, give us everything that you have, all the letters. And then just
immediately,
just bam. Now my question is, are you killing these people or are you knocking them out? Is the question.
I think. Personally,
at least
I think Magnar can't help himself.
Yeah, I think Magnar is a little bit like not like full bloodlust or what it means, but like these people are like sneaking up on us. They don't mean well. I think I would go for like wounding strikes more than direct murder.
Okay,
but I think Magnar would feel pretty fine as long as they're not all completely slaughtered, so we don't get to know what they were on about. I don't think he's like holding back in any real way, but he's also not aiming to immediately like decapitate all of them or anything.
Yeah,
so.
okay, that's very good to know.
I think Huffer would look very quickly and try to pinpoint the figure that he's been like looking for these past few days.
Yeah, he's the one who's speaking. He's the one who said like, make sure we get whatever the elf has and things like that.
Well, Magnar goes crazy next to him. He would try to like I would try to subdue that one, but subdue, not kill.
Let me just I'm just checking something here. Okay, no, these guys aren't harmless folk. This isn't murder. Sure. I think that... no, I don't think that you're being nefarious in any way. I was just checking...
I think it's more... violent, I would
violent,
say,
but not nefarious. I'm just checking there because there is a mechanic in the game called shadow points, and anytime certain things happen, you have to test and see if you gain any. So I think that like you just take these guys out. Maybe it's a nasty, wicked cut, but it's enough to leave them, and you clock them on the side of the head or whatever it is. And they are immediately knocked out. And Huffer, you've got the one that you saw out in the bar. Do you knock him him out, or are you just gonna like grab him and pin him up by the wall or something like that?
I've basically I've got my long sword in my hand, like I push him against the wall, and I've got the sword you know, the classic the tip of the sword against his chin. Yeah.
And he starts speaking in a dialect that you don't recognize, like a Southlander dialect, and he's just like,
Magnar quickly clocks, and it's like, good cop, bad cop. And I'm like, I'll kill him. I'll cut him. Don't hold me back.
Sure.
Calm down, Master. Calm down, Master Tor.
Oh, incredible. Yeah. Can you give me an ore roll, Magnar?
I think I am going to use Fierce to get an extra hope die on this.
Amazing. I was also going to give you an extra hope die, an extra d6 anyway as well. So you're going to get an extra one. So as I said, make sure when you click the spend a hope die button, there's a little button next to it called Inspired. Make sure that's and then I'll give add an extra one on the bottom.
D6 as well.
Yes, please.
All right, let's dice. Don't fail me now. Here we go.
With the Gandalf rune. You see this man's eyes go wide as he sees this bloodthirsty dwarf, and he holds his hands up. He's like, "What do you want? I surrender, and sort of holds his hands up. He drops the little pitiful knife. What do you want?
What is it that you're looking for? I've noticed you sneaking up and tailing us for the past few days. Tell me what you know. Who do you work for?
I work for my chief. I work for the Blackmane, for Ulrich Blackmane.
Ulrich Blackmane.
Yes, he is a great warrior.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't realize typing in chat would be that big, but there you go. There you go.
Amazing.
Sorry.
Do you want to, in fact, actually, I'll just do a random. I'm going to do a manual, just one d6 for you, and if it comes up 6. Okay, so we know it's definitely a success, but not an extra success.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just like, he's a great warrior. He leads us. He sent me to this place. He sent me here to ask questions, to look for
questions
things.
About what?
About your land and the old kingdom that was taken from you, from this place, and to look for, and he kind of looks over at Kalen here, ones like that, ones that look like they know things, have secrets.
I see.
Primula is like holding on to the note real hard, like she's got it like in a pocket or something, and she's like,
I think this guy is too afraid of Magnar and Huffer to like leer
they're not going to come anywhere near me. Yeah, but it's sort of like a ring-in pocket sort of thing, just holding on
to this little
thing. Mine, and I am protecting it. Yeah,
I love it.
And what is it your chieftain, whatever clan leader, is looking to learn from ones like him?
We are just here to get whatever we can find. Ulrich, the Blackmane, does not. He has a realm with him. He will find what he is looking for.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, kill us
Master
now?
Dwarf?
Only why haven't we killed him yet? But then I like calm down and say like, how did you know where to find us? Were you told about us?
No, but the elf, that one, they looked like they knew things. We were told to be on the lookout for people like this. We said, the realm said that they would have knowledge, that look for those that would know things and bring it to them. Bring whatever we learn to my chief.
Well, we don't know anything, so perhaps you should go and look somewhere else.
No, it's not going anywhere. But I think Magnar looks at him and goes like, I say knock him out and hand him over to the chief of the guards.
Good idea. And I just grabbed the pommel of my blade.
Yeah, you knock him out. I think like this has all happened very, very quickly, and a very nervous-looking young Barliman is like, everything all right up there, masters? Just
you've got trouble. Get up here, Barliman.
I think we go, Primula, distract the boy. while we just clean it up a little.
Oh yeah, while we do the talking, yeah.
I could really do with one of those lovely drinks that you do.
Oh yes,
You
it's a rather funny-looking fellows came up here. Is everything all right? And he's just sort of like,
don't worry about them.
Okay.
The others are entertaining those. Just don't worry about it.
Sure.
Let's go downstairs.
Yeah, he goes with you, no problem at all. And is the plan like, are you going to like tie these guys up and basically hand them over to the
Pretty much, also, like any possible deep axe wounds needs to at least be sure so that they're not gonna bleed out and die.
Sure.
But otherwise, yes, we want to like tie them up and hand them over to the
easily
authorities.
done. I think that the local, the local sheriff or sort of like militia guard, and maybe even like you would probably bump into Oakley again, Perry Oakstout.
Perry Oakstout.
He's like seems to be like a member of the militia and stuff like that as well. And so very quickly you're handed over, and they see, these lot causing trouble again as you sort of hand them over. Like, we've been having loads of problems with this lot. Finally,
hopefully they've learned their lesson now. Don't mess with the dwarf.
And the guards are just like, yeah, we're not going to mess with you either. We're just going to take your word for it that these guys are up to no good, because also we don't trust them, so we're just going to lock them up. And you easily subdue them and lock them up with very little difficulty. These seem like
Magnar,
little better than
proud
like
of himself after that. I think he's like little bit of a like straight back as he's walking around. It's like, got to prove myself a little bit, That's
gosh, yeah. Like the two of you absolutely lay waste them. These they're dressed quite dirty, not rags, but like dirty tunics and like foul smelling like leather jerkins and furred hoods and things like that. Their weapons are notched and blunted for the most part. Like they are a very poor excuse for warriors. Like, it looks like whoever this Ulrich Blackmane sent the dregs of his clan or like followers or army or whatever it was, or band, to go and sort of keep an eye on the town and tell us if anything unusual happens, basically. Seems to very much be the dregs of whatever force had been assembled. Kalen here will nod to you all. Very well handled. It seems that I have a feeling that whatever this Ulrich Blackmane may be being guided by forces to search for what we have been discussing.
Yes, indeed.
Shadow is indeed moving. I'm not a big fan of that.
It would be my request on behalf of Lord Elrond, and I imagine Mithrandir as well, to travel to Fornost and to see if you cannot locate the Seeing Stone, the Palantir. Such a thing, even if we do not use it, we must know where it is, and if possible, hide it, make sure that the enemy cannot reach it. If they are searching for it, it makes me think that the enemy knows something. It knows that the Seeing Stone is in this area, at least, that perhaps it has learned that it was deceived all those years ago when the Witch King of Angmar took Fornost and then lost it. Perhaps it has learnt that King Avendue deceived it in some way. How, I do not know, but it seems that to be the case. But such a relic cannot be left to the whims of fate. We must secure it.
How time intensive would you say this is, Mr. Elf?
Oh, I could not possibly say, Master Dwarf. We know that we know from the encounter that we just had, that these southerners and these woodmen are looking, but I can't imagine that they would be able to find it quickly. Not without Wendell's poem, not without some clues, but with enough numbers and enough labor, I mean, they could be digging at the very stones of Fornost trying to locate it, but I imagine that there is some time, at least.
I think Huffer knows that Magnar, at this point, is the type that just wants to make a name for himself. He gets that feeling.
Sure,
but
absolutely.
He points, like, he turns towards Primula and basically says, "Little lady, I hope you're aware of the dangers that lie ahead should you accept this."
Well, it sounds like there's a whole lot, and I don't know if I can handle it, but I'll go anyway, and you two are just gonna have to,
if I may,
make sure nothing happens, honestly.
Miss Primula, Wendell, whatever clues Wendell put into that poem, your great ancestor, I do not know the lore of the Shire. I do not know the stories and the fables and the things that you have been taught growing up that I think will lead you to where you need to go. I do not believe that Master Magnar, I do not believe that... and you sort of see that whenever he says the name Huffer, he's kind of like, he goes to say another name, but then sort of holds his tongue and says, nor does Huffer possess that knowledge. I hate to ask this of you. This Fornost is not like the road to the Shire. It is not like the woods of of the old forest, or it is not like the rivers by the Grey Havens. Fornost is an old place and a dark place, and I cannot promise you safety, nor can I promise that you may return. I only ask that you entrust that I would not request this of you if it were not important. The Palantir, the Seeing Stones, they are powerful tools, and if they cannot be recovered by us, if the enemy were to acquire them, the great enemy, I fear what that may lead to in Middle-earth.
There is no need to try to sweet-talk me. I'm already planning to get it, but the only real worry I have is there going to be time to deal with Nels Hollow and this meeting at Weathertop that Huffer wanted to go to? How pressed for time could we possibly be? Do we do that before or perhaps after?
I'm afraid I must leave that to your decision, Master Dwarf. Well, the road to Fornost, there is a road that leads directly north of Fornost. I suspect that to take you about 5 or 6 days. If you were to travel to Weathertop, you could then travel across land towards Fornost, but it would be a long journey. But you would save some time rather than going there and back and so forth.
Well, it all sounds very important. But if you really need me, then I'll go.
But you're in the poem, Primula. I think we're going to need you. If there's anything, I don't claim to be any sort of expert, but if anyone's going to figure out what's going on, it'll be you. It's your great-grandfather,
I'm not
or
so
a
sure
couple of
that's
greats.
me.
No, I'm sure. It's you for sure.
I told you he's my great, and he wouldn't have known about me.
Direct line. Descendant of a hero. That's you. Hero's blood in your veins, Primula. Don't you forget it.
As you're having this conversation, Huffer, the other thing I would say, because you did kind of talk about it and ask earlier, Orithel, the ranger, the older ranger that you know of, you don't know exactly where it is, but you do know that her camp is a few days east of Fornost, close to the river. So if you look on the map, it's somewhere in that region. So, and you can tell me how well you know Orithel, but you could potentially go and seek aid from them, whether that be, additional help or supplies or, whatever it is.
Is Orithel just like one of the side camps, or is it like the main ranger area?
I would say it's not the main ranger one, because the rangers are kind of scattered all over the place, but you know that her band is quite sizable. Like, she's gathered several rangers as well as young hunters and young warriors and things.
It's an established camp.
Yes, it's an established camp. Yeah,
I think I would know then. Yeah. If she's not super secretive about it to other rangers, then I think I would know.
Yeah, so you know
roughly where it is.
You know roughly. You know it's a few days east of Fornost, and it's on the river, but you just don't know exactly where.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can, and by the way, again, this is your map. You can draw on it. You can do what you want. So, but I'm not gonna reveal anything unless you get a direct kind of like, I'm gonna put it on your map.
Yeah, naturally. I think Huffer would just kind of stand there, let those two first decide if they want to go, because Huffer, he signed, he knew full well what he signed up for the most part, when this is happening, and he's just kind of seeing, are they up for it? And if they are, he will then start sharing some more information with them.
Sure. Magnar is all in. He's got a full quest log, and it's exciting to finish them all, mark them complete. And I think he's taken quite a liking to young Primula, this sort of cheerful, excitable, positive young halfling. And he's sort of imagining like I gotta keep an eye on her. And like, while I would be bringing her along some dangerous stuff, like he's got a good feeling like about this little lady, that she'll be much more helpful than her absence would be, and that the risk is worth it. Sure. The only real worry he has is like, how can we afford? I think he's leaning towards, let's go do the Weathertop Nels Hollow thing first and then check out Fornas.
Sure.
But he is a little bit sort of worried that doing so will mean that we end up too late. So sort of, as he's like talking about, he's kind of waiting for either Kalen here or Huffer to say no or yes to that plan.
Sure.
Really.
Well, I'll tell you this.
I think...
Oh, sorry, go on, Kirsty. You go.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think Primula obviously is a bit hesitant at first. Like, the whole thing was,
too much.
Okay, take these papers and deliver them to Bree, and we'll see where we go from there. And now people are talking about dead things in the marshes and old kingdoms and magical stones and
witch
goblins
kings
everywhere and witch kings. And she's like, huh? But then she's like, no, this is like Mr. Bilbo's stories. This is
exactly that.
This is what I want. So I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
And there's a little element there of maybe, obviously this would have been different years ago, but sort of, seeing Primula on the road and things like that. Like, we can almost imagine Wendell traveling the same sort of journey to travel up to the, with a bow on his, slung on his back and a quiver of arrows, going to join the army and fight, for the King of the North.
I think part of it is that as well. Like I said, like, she was really proud hearing that poem being read out, and it's like, damn, like, someone in my family did that. Like, wow.
And it's weird as well that
Magnar is very much like he was mostly doing it to beef up Primula, really. But in his mind, it's a little bit like, listen, Wendell was a hero. Maybe Primula be a hero too, and we could be heroes together. Like, he's got very lofty ideals of exactly how great a hero he could be, and like, he's seeing already visions in mind of like, this is our traveling party that's going to accomplish great things. Like, his eyes lit up at the talk of like ancient seeing stones and on, and he's like, yes, now we're talking, like that sort of thing.
Perfect.
Primula's like, huh? And Magnar's like, oh, and Huffer's just like, eh.
Well, I think so. That's an interesting point.
We made.
So Primula would have no idea what a seeing stone or a palantir is. You've got no idea.
Yeah.
Magnar,
so that sounds important.
I mean, maybe the dwarves have heard of the seeing stones, but certainly they weren't dwarvish things. They were like things of the Numenor.
But I think the
and
base
the elves.
description given by Kalen here, the idea of like being able to like communicate over great distances, I think he's enough of like know enough about battles and so on and communication to realize how huge a deal that could be.
Hugely important.
Like instant communication,
And especially for a sorcerer's power like the enemy and Sauron and the Great Shadow and stuff like that would be bad. But then I think for Huffer, you know what a palantir is. You know the stories.
Huffer is not at ease.
Yeah.
Huffer.
The idea of a seeing stone, a palantir, falling into the hands of the enemy would be very bad.
Huffer is like, he knows what needs to be done, but he's not happy about it.
He's not happy about it. So here's the other thing. Out of character, I'm going to tell you this. I had originally planned that you guys would just go I hadn't written the Nels Hollow stuff when I originally envisioned this.
Okay.
That was something that I just had this idea of, and I was like, I'm going to write all this extra stuff. So basically what that is you can do both, right? You're not gonna, there's time to do both if you want to, providing that there's no, things along the way. There could be problems. but that will mean that we will play for a few more sessions than I was expecting. If you want to, you can just go straight to Fornost, and that's kind of the end of this little micro campaign is what I envisioned. So it's up to you guys what you want to do. If you are happy to do like another session or maybe 2, then you could definitely go to Weathertop and Nell's Hollow and follow on all from that. And that's kind of like
you'll get roleplay,
and you'll get like a little, and there's treasure as well. There's some things to be found there, and more XP and all of this kind of good stuff. But if you want to, you can just go straight to Fornost and be like, great, let's do the main story.
There's a purely narrative reason for like a thing like this, like maybe we should go to Fornost, but like if it feels both in character and also out of character that should be fine, then I'm all for that, honestly. Like I think that would be great.
Now I won't say that there won't be consequences to taking too long,
sure,
but there is also things to gain as well. For example,
would we have the availability to do, like, we won't be go to Weathertop, go to Nell's Hollow, and then to Fornost all on one go, so we're all maxed out on fatigue. There will be chances to rest and stuff in the meanwhile.
Wow.
See this? See?
There's things like, for example, if instead of going, you could go to Weathertop and then to Nell's Hollow, and then if you're like, okay, we're going to be exhausted if we go straight to Fornost, but if we go back to Bree and rest, and then that's going to take loads more days, then we're going to have to travel to... But what you could do is you could then try and go and find Orathel's camp, which Huffer knows, and that would be a safe place to rest, basically. Yes. So it'd be like going a few days out of your way, and it would be like a long journey. So like, hopefully you don't have any like bad encounters or anything like that at the end of it.
How do I draw?
So there's a little pencil.
There's a little pen.
And then you want draw freehand,
I'll
which is
do
like
my
the
path
squiggle.
first, and then you can do yours.
Because I was thinking path. So from the little pen.
So it's like a little pencil on the
third one down.
Yeah,
on top
third
left.
one down, top left.
I can just use this to draw now.
And then you can do. You want to click draw freehand. Yeah.
That's sort of what I had in mind, like straight to Weathertop.
Oh, sorry, I meant west by the river. Is the camp.
That's a little bit longer. Okay.
Yes.
So say this is where because he said a river.
Yeah. A few days west of Fornost.
Oh yeah, that does make more sense. Yeah, you did mention
river. Roughly where I
you think the camp
that
is.
camp being.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a long journey, but on the other hand, what that means, if we travel all the way like to the river from Nell's Hollow, that'd be like a long journey. But by the time we get there, we can then get fully close to fully rested, so that by the time we get to Forest, we are better shape than if we go from, that sort of thing. So that's an option, I suppose.
Yeah, and the way that we do the journey is you do it in segments. So it's like, we're going to do a journey to Weathertop. We resolve that journey. The events of Weathertop, if there is anything to happen there, happens. Then you would go like, cool, now we're going to go to Nell's Hollow. And that would be a new journey.
Is it no matter what direction we choose, this is a next session thing, or
we're gonna start that now. So I was gonna say let's take like a quick 5-minute break, and then I'd love to go for like another 45 minutes to an hour if people are up for it.
Sounds good.
But if people don't want to, but I'm happy for people to take a quick break. I'm gonna grab myself a beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a drink for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second.
Cool. Well, in that case, let's take a quick break here. I am gonna leave. I'll mute you guys on Discord, so you're free to like chat and stuff. So I'm gonna mute you guys to the stream. So you guys are now muted to the stream, so you can talk and just let me know when you're back. Stream, I'm going to grab myself a drink, but then I'll just chat to you for a little bit while we're waiting. So just let me grab a drink, and then I'll be back.
Fun.
So you guys are now live again, just so we can chat while people are there.
Hello.
Zylus is just taking a little bit longer. But yeah, no, if you guys... I'm thinking like 45 minutes, like an hour. So then it's like 3 hours, basically.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I am definitely up for that.
Yeah,
I wanted to get some like journey rolls in, see what happens. I've got a couple of like little events and things like that.
You mentioned something last time about council, which is like is that something?
It's like a social thing. So I was going to do one for Kalen here, but then I sort of realized reading the rules for councils are situations where you are basically petitioning NPCs for something. Like there's got to be a stake.
Kind of already on board.
And he was kind of already on board. So I was like, well, it doesn't make sense to a council. But if you go see Orathel, that probably will be a council.
That seems more likely,
because then it's like,
be there, like
you have to convince them
and prove that it's worth it and so on.
Exactly. Like, that kind of thing. So I decided not to do it for Kalen here because I thought like, oh, they're meeting a brand new NPC. This will be a good opportunity. And then rereading the council rules, I was like, well, actually, this doesn't quite apply. And I thought that was going to be a good one. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things where like I started like planning this session and I was like, oh, I should give them like some rumors and things going on in Bree. Like I should address like the stuff with the goblins. And then I just started coming up with this idea for like Nell's Hollow and like all this extra stuff. And I was like, oh God, I've written basically another adventure that's like on top of the one that I've already got basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's one of those things like I was a little bit unsure as a player. Like, should I be following through with this or should I just go to where the where the starter in the adventure is meant for me to go? You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no.
Let's do all of it.
Yeah, this is the problem is I knew that Kirsty would be like, I want to do all of it. More roleplay. More rolling dice, please.
Yes.
But yeah, it's also a good way to like test system because like we did that one quite long journey, but it was just one long thing, whereas this one's going to be like we do a shortish journey, then we do a thing, now we're going to do another journey straight afterwards, and I kind of want to see how the mechanics and stuff play into that. But
so because that would be I'll draw again, even though we haven't maybe 100% decided yet. But the initial idea is like follow the path as long as possible, and then up to the Weathertop, and then from the Weathertop, sort of like follow along the edges of these hills, to reach Nell's Hollow.
Now,
after that, we'll basically see the shape we're in.
Sure.
Because, like you said, going all the way back to Bree, maybe not great. That might take a little bit too long, but that means taking a quite long path, mind you, all the way over there.
And that's the choice of it, right? But also, I mean, there are ways as well. Like you can get lucky on the journey rolls, and you might have events that don't cost you any fatigue, right? You can get events where it's just like, in fact, if you get the Gandalf rune, there's a chance for you to just not take any fatigue for the journey event, right?
Yeah.
But also, it's that thing of there are things like I know on the map, like certain regions on my map are different colors depending on their danger level, but also things like certain terrain types, like going through hills and forests, actually takes longer than a day. It takes like an extra time to go through difficult terrain, basically. So it's an interesting one, and I kind of want to see how it plays. And also, one of the things I love is that the randomness of the journey table might throw in some stuff that even I've not expected, and I'm going to have to like come up with some cool stuff.
Yeah. It's exciting.
One thing I will suggest as well, just to make it very, very clear, especially with the hex grids, if you can try and draw a path that is very clear what hexes you're traveling through, just so that then I can be like, cool.
Like, okay, yeah. Hold on, let me adjust. Yeah.
All right, chat, I will remind you that the players can't see all the things that you can see. So there are things that are hidden that you can see on my board that the players don't see right now. Like, yeah, Lex, I'm talking to you specifically. I don't know what you mean, Lex. There's not things that I've pre-rolled on the map that I'm like, oh, I'm going to put that here because that'd be fun. Let's see if they walk past it or through it.
Classic Lex. Lex is a troublemaker.
Perfect. And fair. I know that you've drawn this path already, Rythian. Obviously,
this is just to indicate. We'll probably do a more one, but later.
Well, it's also like if, like, say you want to have Huffer be the guide. Technically, he's supposed to draw the line of where you're going.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So that's like the big thing with like the journey routes is like whoever is the guide gets to actually set the route.
Fair enough.
And then you determine everything else. So.
Yeah. I'll leave it there for Zylus to come back so we can see that, but then we'll delete it and we'll see who actually does it.
Yeah. No problemo. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I'm glad you enjoy the characters. I'm glad you're enjoying sort of like the story of it. I'm having
so much fun.
It's just nice, isn't it, to just play in Middle Earth and be like, it's Parliament.
Nice.
Oh, it's siege stones. Oh. And in fact, because the campaign, this main little story is based around the Palantir, that's why it's called A Glimpse of Shadow, by the way. Because it's a glimpse of wicked things as you touch the Palantir.
So I'm so glad that we're not on camera, because it's like when I'm playing Pathfinder, I'm sitting here just like ooh.
Happily.
Yeah, and I just make so many faces and do so many goofy movements. Like if I'm ever on camera,
I mean, that's
so
adorable, and I think that's a joy to see on camera. But what I found, like, I love having cameras on, even if it's just privately for games, because I like to like build off people's reactions and stuff for roleplay. But whenever I've done stream games, I really like just having the reactive PNGs, because I feel like it helps you guys just relax and be like, cool, I can just chill and sort of not have to worry about how I look or like what I'm doing on camera.
That definitely helps me.
Yeah, 100% that's the case. Yeah.
But yeah, if you could see me, you would absolutely be able to do that, because my God. I am very reactive.
It's great though. I think that's a very big compliment as a GM. I think because you can tell that like players are engaged and invested, right? Like it's one of the things I love. You guys do your Pathfinder game together, and honestly, seeing how excited and how much work like you, Kirsty, and Zoe and Ravs are putting in between the sessions. I think that's magical. I think that's like genuinely one of the most complimentary things players can do for a GM is just to be excited midweek.
100 billion%.
Yeah.
Every now and then when I talk to Kirsty, she's like, sorry for talking so much about it. It's like, what do you mean?
It's
like,
the best.
This is like it's great when you play and people are excited about the session. That's good, great, everything. When people come to me in between sessions, talking, I've been thinking about this. What about this? It's like, hell yes. Like that means you care so much about it beyond the set hours that we do it. When people stick around afterwards to talk or like literally on a random Wednesdays, like I was thinking about this, and it's like that gives me so much creative energy and fuel to really. It feels like the time and effort I put into it is rewarded, and it makes it more than worth it. It powers me up to do more, basically, and I feel happy doing it. So
for sure. Well,
I'm back.
We have Zylus back. So let us jump back into things here. I'm just gonna, if we can have like a little moment pause, and then I can do a nice easy cut.
Sure.
Okay, so we are back in. So you have a decision to make, whereabouts you want to go, what you want to do, and that is going to mean a brand new journey. So you guys should have a discussion about who you want to lead the journey. Don't forget, you can open up the company page to look at the various roles and the skills related.
Do we have a chance to change halfway through who leads?
No. So every leg of the journey. So, for example, Bree to Weathertop, that would be one journey, right?
Yeah, that's right. So let's say we have Rythian go all the way to like from Weathertop, Nels Hollow, and then I take over because I know where. Like, this camp
so the way you would have to do that
makes
is
a lot
like,
of sense to me,
so you would have Magnar lead it to Weathertop. We resolve Weathertop. Then you would do another journey to Nels Hollow. Magnar can lead that one as well. And then you could swap for the third journey.
That's what I'm thinking makes the most sense role-playing wise. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to create a brand new journey log for you. And this one is going to be called To Weathertop. Excellent. It is, what is it, 2980. It is summer. You're going from Bree to Weathertop, also known as Amonsul.
Amonsul.
Yes, and so we are going to need a guide, a scout, a lookout, and a hunter.
So the old journey log is done, right? Like that one is solved, right?
That is finished, yes, complete.
Yeah. So we don't need to worry about the fact that is listed travel fatigue or anything there. We can just whatever.
Yeah, we've resolved all of that.
Okay.
You guys have had 4 days. You've marked off all the fatigue. You've marked off for fatigue. Everything else. Perfect. Okay, great.
Cool.
So, have you decided on whom is taking what roles?
I'm happy to stay with the same as last time for this one until we feel like something is a decent idea to change, such as, like, for example, the other one. Unless Primula has something she wanted to jump into.
Well, the other thing it can be good is if you swap them around, because again, once you get a journey event, I roll to see who has to deal with it. So, for example, Magnar, you're currently like going to be on hunting and you're doing the travel rolls and stuff like that. If, say, one of you starts getting a lot of fatigue and you're like, man, I really don't want to get any more travel events because I'm the one who has to like deal with it, you can try and swap things around and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
but
though if I recall correctly, you said last time that if anyone should do doubles, is the one who is doing the guide.
Yes, that's generally the best way to do it. That's generally the best way to do it. But if you're going to swap on for the third journey, that's probably a good idea. Yeah. So you've already drawn out
at the moment. This is probably a solid one because we talked about it before. But yeah, basically, I should not do awareness at all. No points, no awareness, nothing. I could do explore maybe, but I'm not favored in it, so probably better to let someone else do it. But we'll swap around when the time comes, basically.
Sure. So there's another element here which you guys might want to consider, and you are in Bree. It's a pretty well-stocked town. If you decide to, you could try and get some mounts, which would help you with your journey. Mounts generally not only increase, like, they make you go faster, so, like, you take less time, but they also massively help with your fatigue and things like that as well. So it is a case of... the only problem is you have a ranger who does not have a lot of money, and so cannot afford to hire one.
But we
in theory,
have a dwarf who has a lot of money.
I do a lot of worry, but like I didn't get this rich by paying out of my ass.
So the way I would do this, right?
We want a horse.
So the way I would do this is the way that it works in the game is because you're prosperous, aren't you,
yes.
Magnar? So a prosperous character can have a decent mount, right? That has slightly better stats. A common character, such as Primula, can have an old horse or a half-starved pony, which is a lesser mount. Whereas a frugal, the hero cannot afford a mount. So what I would say is that Magnar could hire 2 mounts, but they would be the common tier of mount. So you could get 2 common mounts instead of 1 good mount, is what I would say.
Okay.
But
that's fine. Then we all have the same.
You do all have the same.
So we all end up basically with a kind of thing. Yeah, I could do that. Like, I think...
I will remind you, if bad things happen on the journey or at the places you go to, those mounts might come into danger. So I will just remind you of that.
I can't believe you'd do that.
I would do that. I would.
I'm gonna get pony and name him Bill.
Okay, very original.
Bill's great grandfather.
Yeah.
I think we
Bill
go
the
to
first.
get like the realizing as we sort of like discussing the planning of where to go, realizing this might be a bit of a long journey, and keeping in mind what Kalen here said, that like we don't know what's going to happen in Fornost if they're gonna. So the fact that we're like going a little bit out of our way first, Magnar hopes to sort of counter out some of that time lost by picking up a couple of mounts. At one point goes to get the mounts and then like realizes Huffer's not gonna afford this. He will then grumble and then like buy one or like rent or buy one.
Yeah, this would be like you're like hiring basically.
That, like, I'll be taking a slightly bigger cut of the treasure, I think, to make up for this, more or less. And I think that seems about fair. I think
that seems a fair way to do it. So I believe that on the journey in your items, I've given you this journey thing. You do have a section for mounts, and you can name them.
Oh, very cool. We only see the old journey log as of right now. You might need to make the other one visible as well.
How do I do that? So if I
It'll likely be
configure
ownership or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you guys go. There should be a brand new journey log to Weathertop.
Very nice.
And if you can place yourself in your roles and then come up with names for your mounts, please.
Was I the scout?
Yes.
Where do I see your notes again?
Item, the right.
Under the briefcase.
Items.
Scout. My mount is called George.
No, of course it's George. I'll try not to take too long about this because you know otherwise how it goes. But yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, these are Brie ponies basically. So they're these.
I know my name from my mouth.
These are Brie ponies. You buy them, or you sort of hire them. Toby, nice.
Old Huffer and Old Toby.
Old Huffer and Old Toby, and an Iron Hoof. Very dwarven.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
You give them these names.
Play to type. Come on. Yeah.
These are Breland ponies, so they're not quite full-sized horses, but they're bigger than like Shire ponies, basically. They are not very fast, but they are sturdy beasts, and they are going to help you reduce some of that fatigue for your journey. And yeah, you mount them up. You hire them from a small stable on the sort of eastern side of Brie. They have their own names, but you're welcome to name them as you wish. And if you're ready, we can begin a brand new journey. So, because again, this is like a big mechanic in the One Ring, and I want to make sure that I'm doing it all correctly. We begin, you've set the journey path, so you've drawn that on the map. We've got this journey going straight through up to Weathertop.
Yeah,
and then
taking the westernmost of these two hexes, just to make sure.
East-west road. And then I believe that we get our first travel roll from the guide, who is Magnar. And then I want to find my random table.
Just follow the road, shouldn't be a problem. There we go. I don't think I would be using hope dice just yet.
Yes, do remember that you're only going to get one hope back every day, naturally.
Yeah.
So you don't probably want to
and
go
I'm down a few. I've used a
crazy.
couple, so I think I'm not going to overuse them.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that my baseline 2F3S will do enough. Here we go.
Here we go.
That's Arab Sauron. Ooh, boy.
Ooh,
2-3-2 on top of that.
Just need to follow the road.
I am following the road. Where's this road? Oh no.
Okay, so you only get a couple of days outside of Brie before our first event is. Oh my goodness, that's massive. It's the free draw thing. Oh,
yeah.
God,
if you go to the cogwheel at the bottom, you can configure it to be less or more wide and so on.
Yes. Perfect.
So make sure you update it and then bam, it's good to go.
Okay. So as you are traveling, let's see what kind of event we encounter. Well, okay. So it's an event. You are traveling along the road, and a shortcut crops up. Does this make? Let's have a look here. Okay.
A shortcut through the marshes.
Yeah. Oh, this will be better. This
looks like a good way to go.
Okay, and then shortcut, and then I'm gonna roll on this. Secluded path. So this is going to be for our so a shortcut is a I should have rolled who has to deal with this. The event target. My apologies. So I want just a die. We're gonna roll to see who this is for. So this is for our scout. So this is indeed Primula. You are traveling along the east-west road, trying to avoid the midwater marsh, but you do see the sights that the road itself is kind of winding. It has to go through the sort of flatlands and the lowlands, and there's all this sort of scrubs and shadows and forests on either side. And you do spot what could be a secluded path. Could you please make an explore roll for me, please?
Okay. I feel like I should probably use a hope die.
Oh, it's that bad, huh?
I'm not great at explore. I'm not great at any of the options, which is why I'm the scout. But
hey, that's pretty good so far. Yeah,
okay. If you're favored.
Okay.
That's
I
good.
am
As long as you're favored,
yeah,
that's good.
But
yeah.
it's still, I did fail
Yeah.
last time and we nearly died to a bunch of goblins, so.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I was favored on the travel, and sometimes
Yeah.
you're just unlucky. So yeah.
So you do manage to indeed find a shortcut on the east-west road. I don't know how that works, but if you've got a cool idea, I'm happy to hear it.
These marshes look good.
Maybe you just dip into the marshes, right? Like you kind of you take a very short route, sort of like you hop over it or something.
Primula just gets an idea. It's like, shouldn't that be good? And like, Magnus like, into the marshes? Oh, you're crazy girl. And then, but no, it'll be good. And I like, fine.
It's okay. Just shout if you see a dead person.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
But
Trust you me.
luckily, thanks to Primula's excellent sort of scouting ahead and everything else, you do manage to avoid any sort of major problems. This is going to count as 1 fatigue on the journey log.
Okay.
However, you're going to reduce the total journey length by 1 day.
Okay.
So you
Nice.
reduce the
That's
actual
good.
journey length by 1 day. Also, again, it's not one of the worst options for a journey because it's only 1 fatigue to do.
We all take 1 travel fatigue.
Yes, that's much better than getting 2 or 3 from like a really low.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if like I could find a cool thing for your great success, but I might have to look that up another day. I think that this is just a flat success on this one. On the travel rules. Okay, so that was, you've been traveling for like just under a day, but Primula manages to sort of gather a little bit of time back. Can I get another travel roll, please, from our
All right, let's
guide?
put us back on the road and see where we can go. All right, come on now. Let's two F3S. Come on now. Here we go. I don't like seeing that siren run, but it is favored.
It's favored, so you're okay.
so-
Okay, so that is a success, which means that I believe you go 3 hexes before you have an event, which would bring us to here. And then that is going to be, let's see, Hoomst has to deal with this problem. It's Primula again.
Oh, good.
But what sort of trouble do we have on the journey?
I have such good awareness.
Wait,
I know,
wasn't
it's-
it wasn't it Primula on a 3? Why is it Primula on a 2 as well?
Oh, that's right. It should. It's okay. In that case, we'll flip them around. You're quite correct, Rythian.
Okay.
He's quite correct.
Last one should have been Huffer, not Primula. I got that mixed up. So this time we'll have it be Huffer, basically, this time.
Okay.
Slacking.
But let's see what kind of event we get on the journey. A chance meeting. Oh, okay. This is a very good one.
Interesting.
So could I get an awareness roll from you, please, Huffer?
Naturally. I will not spend the whole point on this. That seems a bit of a...
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, I keep seeing the Eye of Sauron.
It's okay. He loves rolling sixes. He's
He
fine.
loves rolling 6s. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, every time.
And what did we get? Did we get a success? An extraordinary success.
These
Perfect.
6s. He can't help but roll them 6s.
Okay. So on a successful roll, no fatigue is gained at all.
Hooray!
And we get a little event here, a little meeting.
Anything special to the extraordinary success, though?
Yeah, well, there is like a guide on like what I can do with those extra successes. That's what I was looking for earlier, because I'm also learning the game, and it's got special successes. So what could this be? You gain additional information, for example. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, so I think on this one it's so there's options for things like there's no real ability to gain extra successes in this because it doesn't really count. You don't need to cancel a failure. What it could be is you either gain extra information from this, being an extraordinary success. You can influence more things. You can do it quietly, or you can do it quite speedily. But this isn't, again, a shortcut thing. I think on these journey rolls, it won't make too much of a difference, but I'll give you some extra information is what I think I'm going to do. As you are traveling, as you reach the very bottom of the hill, all of you traveling on the road, and I think for Primula and Magnar, this is quite a significant sight, because you see ahead of you on a massive hill, like almost like a plateau, is this ruined former keep, which the locals of Middle-earth and the locals of Bree called Weathertop. But you know it, Huffer, by another name, Amon-Sul. And it was once a great watchtower and a keep that protected these lands. And we see it sort of rising up before you as the sun is just beginning to settle down. As you are traveling, a chance meeting. Who could this be?
I have a suggestion.
Go on.
Let me check my notes. Lorwyn.
Oh, well, no, I'm afraid Lorwyn has a different destiny on this.
Damn it.
Who could this be?
Oh my god, it's the Belia Sackville Baggins.
Now I got
Oh, shit. How did she get here?
I wonder. No. Okay, I've got this. So at the bottom,
the Witch King of Angmar.
It's the Witch King of Angmar.
Hold on. Maybe.
I normally don't do this, but I do just want to say thank you. I acknowledge the raiders that normally I don't do this while we're doing the episode. But thank you, Theo, so much for the raid. It's Theo Solomon. Thank you so much. We're just in the middle of RP, so I want to acknowledge it, but we're going to move swiftly on. Crispy in the chat will explain a bit more about what's going on. No, I've got this. So as you arrive and you begin to kind of start peeling off the road towards Amon-Sul, towards Weathertop, the North Downs, the Weather Hills all stretch out before you. And for some, this could be an ominous sight. But as you approach, you can see that there are kind of scattered ruins. And at the base of the hill would have once been, maybe it's like a loose stone barracks of a watchtower or like a little gate post here at the bottom before you kind of make your way up to the full place. And you see a figure kind of stood there, and for a second you almost, they seem ethereal, but then maybe it's just the starlight, it's like a trick of the light, because then they seem to just be stood there normally, and they seem to be a rather resplendent looking guardsman, wearing wonderful, quite old-fashioned armor, chainmail and breastplate, with a spear, and they're standing on the watchtower, and they're like, "Ho, who goes there?"
I hand on axe.
Yeah.
God's sake.
Greetings, friend. Would I recognize this person?
You don't, Huffer. No, I mean, they look like a soldier. They look like a guard that you might have seen in a great city, almost like a soldier in Gondor or something like that. They're so well armored. But he sort of takes his helmet off and looks down. You see like long flowing hair, a sort of short beard, and he looks down and he's like, "Well, I can see that you are no friend of the enemy, so you are welcome. If you need to rest somewhere or take a moment by my fire, just come and meet me down below in the tower." And you can see that there's a little campfire and some stools. Maybe there's like a leg of lamb that's roasting on the fire, and a few things. And you hear the sort of armored footsteps of this soldier making their way down. It was just say, "Greetings. My name is Kale. I'm a guard here. Please come sit. I'm keeping an eye out on the road, making sure that nothing untoward happens. You're welcome to my fire, friend."
I wouldn't mind some roast dinner. Something hot.
Oh, it smells lovely.
Please come and help yourself. And
off axe, and then we go to it.
Starts like carving away little pieces of meat and things like that. Sort of offers it up. Kale seems like, and it's Kale, by the way, like Kale. It will just say like, "Oh, it's a rather quiet night, so I thought I could at least enjoy a fire, and some travelers on the road can at least offer you a little bit of sanctuary for the evening."
Well, I appreciate it very much. We're on a little bit of a journey, and it's always nice to have a sit down and have some good food.
Oh, indeed. Well, much better. I miss the company of my fellow soldiers, so it's nice to have company as well for myself. You see, he kind of gets like a little bit of a wistful look and sort of looks out. Doesn't eat themselves, like isn't eating themselves, but happily like carves the meat and puts it on plates and things like that for you all. The fire is warm, it's pleasant, and there is just an air of peace about this man as you kind of sit there. And you find, you briefly talk for the evening. He tells you stories of a battle that happened long ago up in the North Hills, a battle against the Witch King of Angmar, and he kind of tells it as if he was there himself, but this incredible story that just sort of enraptures your attention. And very quickly you find yourselves relaxing. Primula, you fall asleep for the evening as the sun sets and wrapped up in a cozy blanket with a cozy fire beside you. Magnar, you enjoy some drinks and ales and talk of battle, and you swap stories with Kale.
Absolutely.
And Huffer, you sort of listen there smoking your pipe, and the stars are out beautifully at night. And eventually night fades and you go to bed. Kale stays up. They don't appear to be going to sleep. They're like, no, I must keep my watch. But you rest here. You'll be more than safe here. More than safe.
Magnar definitely offers to take his share of the watch, but if he seems confident, he's not going to push it. So
please,
he's fine with us
Master Dwarf, I will be fine. Please, this is my duty. You rest. You've traveled long and far. I've been stood here for so long. You need not worry about me.
Sorry, but I'm not turning that down. Thank you so much.
I think Huffer is just kind of curious.
Yeah. Do you want to make an insight roll for me?
Yeah, I do.
Sure.
And this guy seems a little bit
too nice.
More than natural, maybe a little bit supernatural.
Basically, what Huffer is thinking, it's either like some kind of elf or another Dunedain because of the way that he told the stories if he was there. So
Primula was super into the stories. She was very much.
My insight isn't the greatest. I'm going to spend a hope on this.
Sure.
Okay.
Because I'm curious. I want to learn.
Sure. Absolutely. I think Magnar was listening happily and didn't.
Great success.
Very nice. I think Magnar would be like a few days away from this. He'll be like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Hold on a minute.
Dwarves not known for their great insight, really.
Yes, exactly. So like right now he's just like, nice, great, solid, time to sleep,
So I think that as Magnar is asleep, snoring through after drinking much ale and enjoying roast pork and roast lamb,
good stuff.
And Primula is tucked away, maybe holding the poem close, snuggled under the blanket. You take a long draw on your pipe, Huffer, and look at this strange, far too young, far too handsome, far too well equipped. You've not seen a soldier like this in these lands for a very, very long time. This is no guard of Bree. This person honestly would not look out of place all the way in the Greylands, far to the west, the Greyhaven, except that they are human. And again, the night, the moon passes from behind clouds, and their armor seems so radiant, so spectral, so ethereal. And it is at that point, Huffer, that you realize that this is no man at all. This is not a person. This is a spirit. This is the spirit of somebody who died a long time ago. And he looks towards you and just sort of nods his head. And my watch comes to an end very soon. But I promised that I would not abandon my post, even when the Witch King descended upon these lands. I fought until the very, very last. And alas, it is to my shame that I am unable to do anything greater than stand here and offer comfort to those who pass by. But I have a gift for you. And can you remind me, please, in Discord, actually, Zylus, if you want to send it to me as a private message, of your name?
Yes. I can. 1 sec.
It might not be relevant now, but I just want to have it. He will say, "In your blood, it is the same as mine, for we are descended from a long, long line of ancient people. I fought in these lands. There was another who came here not too many nights ago. She was traveling, and She went to the tower above. Servants of the enemy ambushed her here. She is dying, but still remains with the living now. She is strong, but she will not last much longer. And he goes over to a piece of the sort of little guard tower wall and pulls out a stone. And inside you see a leather bag. And he brings it over to you. And the strong smell of king's foil. Aether's leaf. This was left here by another of your descendants long ago. I watched him place it there. I hope that it will help her and that it will help you.
I just nod at the spirit and I kind of just, I think, wake both Prim and Magnar and tell them we have to hurry.
Okay. When you wake them, the man is gone. Like, when you wake them and turn around, the soldier is not there anymore. But the stone, the lamb, everything else is still there, but the spirit himself is gone. Primula and Magnar, you are woken swiftly. This is probably,
what happened?
This is like as the sun is rising. You know, it's early, but like, you know, you've slept a little bit. You've managed to get a night's sleep.
Yeah. I think sometimes even a short sleep that feels extra restful and safe is better than a long one that feels uneven and uneasy. So I think, even though it's not been long.
We have to hurry. One of my kind is up on the tower, and she's wounded. We need to help her.
All right, if you say so, Huffer.
And as a reminder, who spent hope today?
In Bree, I think we all spent a bunch.
Okay, so if you spent any in Bree, because don't forget you gain 1 hope back every day, and each of these hexes is 1 day of travel.
I think I used it at the last.
Then, I mean, to be honest, you've got another day of travel, so you can all gain back at least 1, but I think most of you should be at full.
Okay.
I just spent a hope on this check as well.
Okay.
I don't get back, right?
You don't get that one back, no.
So I get 1 of my 2 that I spent back.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, the next section of travel, you're automatically going to reach where you need to without an event, so we don't need to worry about the roll. Nice. Basically at the base of this, you know, you kind of settle down thinking you had time to go up to Weathertop, but Huffer kind of rouses you from your sleep. We have to go now.
Yeah, if and you life begin is on the line, then absolutely,
weaving your way, kind of this switchback path that heads all the way up to the ruins at the top. And as you begin to reach the upper stairs and the upper pathways that lead into the ruin of Weathertop and Amonsul itself, you begin to see goblin corpses. And you even see at least 1 body of one of those southern men that you'd seen earlier, face down, sort of hanging half off of the stairways, almost looking like nearly plummeting to his death, but is still sort of his body just leaning off the side. Various arrows you can see, well-made non-goblin arrows have become embedded or left on the stone, embedded in the goblins as you make your way up, as you rush up there as daylight fully begins to bloom and swell as you reach the top of Weathertop. Initially, you kind of look around. Could everybody I suppose, what are you guys doing, like, as you reach into the ruins itself?
Follow the trail of the goblin corpses at this point. Like, if we've been warned by, I don't know all of the details probably, but like if Huffer's told me that we need to find someone, I'm making the connection immediately. It's like someone's fought goblins. I'm gonna follow where the trail of corpses leads.
Sure. Yeah, I think Primula's probably. Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking for the ranger.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think the way I was going to do this is, this would be a scan roll. So if you're looking for the ranger, that would be a scan roll. You can give me a hunting roll to track the bodies if you like.
The satchel of the king's
foil,
is that something I should have as?
So what I'm going to say for that is you can write a note of it in your items. It's not going to be a special, what they call like a unique item. What it is that you can basically gain an extra die on a healing roll that you make. So you can spend those the King's Fall leaves to give yourself an extra die on a healing check that you or anybody else makes. But they're a kind of like a consumable. Once you've used them, that's it. They're gone basically.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Following the tracks, hunting. I think that's probably fair.
Yep. And then
I would
think I want to
scan for you, Huffer. And then Primula, what were you doing?
I don't think she's like tracking or anything. Like she can see all these goblin like corpses around. She's probably looking around, sort of just all over the place, really. Like not like I can see there's a corpse here, so this person would be over here. Yeah, I'm just like looking for anything, like anyone that's alive. Like maybe if Huffer's friend is here, like you know.
Well, if you're keeping just a general eye out, because like Huffer's actively looking around for something specific, why don't you give me an awareness roll then, Primula?
Okay.
So, not sure if this is how you're supposed to do these things, but I suppose I will ask then. If I were to use a hope point, would I be able to use my enemy lore orcs to basically judge better where these goblins might have been, knowing how they operate? Or is that not?
I'd say that's like your enemy lore of your distinct feature. Yeah, I'd say that if you want to spend a hope, you'll get the 2 dice on that. You'll be inspired.
Then I will spend a hope point. Because I think Magnar is worried. Like if this person is dying, is possibly a friend or colleague of Huffer's, like he's worried and he will want to do it quickly. So here we go. Okay, well it is a 1, but
it's a failure.
Damn it! 2, 1, 2, 1.
Yeah,
1.
that
Jesus.
stinks. That stinks.
I'm spending.
I'm only 1 point away to.
Sure.
I'm spending a hope.
Okay.
Those 6s every
he
time.
Loves the 6s.
He loves got it,
guys.
This guy.
Huffer.
6.
This is like, I feel like the first episode was like Old Huffer, right? Like kind of fucking around, not quite doing it. Now we're seeing the Ranger in action, right? Like this is like
who killed 37 damage on that wolf. yeah.
So, Primula, you're sort of just, first of all, this place is incredible. This incredible ancient ruin. It almost feels like you've stepped into a moment of history, but then there's all these horrific like bodies and blood and everything else all around you. For you, Magnar, I think that failure is really from, there are bodies, but it's very chaotic, and kind of in amongst the orcs and goblins, you do see like at least one more of these like southern men. But you can see that whoever fought them was kind of like fighting them quite guerrilla style, like was like nipping and like ambushing them and then fleeing, and then like they clearly had caught somebody up here and trapped them here, like ambushed them, because there's not really an escape unless you go down the way you just came up. But they took a heavy toll on the forces that attacked them here, right? But so and that kind of throws you off from the tracking the bodies.
Rather than a straight up battlefield, it spread so much because it's been over a longer period.
It's not really your style of fighting
it's
either.
It's harder to draw a straight line of like where this logically would be, because it's been kind of all over.
It's been all over the place. But for Huffer, something speaks to you. And you rush, you scan around, and you sort of put your hand down on the ground, and you find in amongst the orc blood and the goblin blood, you find, you know, red, old, maybe a few days old stained blood sort of on the ground. You find a scrap, a tear of green fabric, maybe more than 2 or 3 threads of it, but caught on a stone that leads its way up and round into one of the sort of broken parapets of Amonsul. You see her sort of slumped up against the wall, facing a broken archway where there are 3 dead orcs sort of there, all with arrows in their chests. But you can see that there is a broken longsword, a broken short sword that's been like snapped or like cleaved in 2, scattered on the ground. There is a broken bow beside that as well. And you can see that slumped, kind of clutching a dagger in her hand with a goblin body maybe a few feet away, is a young woman with sort of gingery, coppery hair, wearing a green ranger's cloak, a leather corselet, fine traveling boots, and she's sort of slumped up against the wall. Her skin is nearly is so pale it's almost like bluish and gray, and she's stuck with several orc and goblin arrows, and you can see that she's just slumped there, and she looks dead to you as you see her. Everybody who sees this, which is going to be everybody eventually, I am going to need for the first time a shadow roll, as this is a source of dread. Now let me get up the rules for this. Sources of dread. Yes. So a dread roll. Do apologies, I do have to read on some rules. Shadow test. So I believe that this is counterposed by a valor roll. So if you go into your character sheet, so this is a brand new stat that we've never rolled before. And if you scroll down, maybe? No, up above, yes.
God, yeah, Valor 1.
Yes, because you only have 1 point in it currently. So this is, if you want to spend hope, you absolutely can. If you have any like the features that you think will help you, as you are confronted by this rather gruesome.
I feel like
I feel like we kind of have to, like, literally.
Sure.
Now I have
to beat
shadow. I have shadow lore.
I'm gonna say that's not gonna help you on this one. I figured. Nor is your enemy lore gonna help you on this one, because this is just this incredibly tragic sight of like seeing this like woman who's made this incredibly heroic stand, and for all intents and purposes, not only looks dead, but looks like she suffered.
I am stern though, Mark.
now I might let that pass. I tell you what. I honestly like being quite stern and like being kind of shut off to it. Like, yeah, I might allow that.
Oh shit! So how do I add that extra die?
So you got to click the hope, but I know you can't see the images, and then the one next to it that appears is the inspired. Yes.
Yeah. Done. So 1-3.
Now, does anybody else have anything that they want to try and pitch for that?
Fierce, maybe. I'm used to seeing her, but like it's a weak claim.
I think you're good at being fierce, but this is still upsetting to see in like battle and stuff like that.
I have eager.
Okay.
No.
Well, I was thinking
maybe
I'm eager to help rather than standing there thinking, oh no, this is terrible. I'm like, oh my god, we have to help her right now.
I would say that if you make a healing roll, that would apply, but in this moment, that eager's not going to help you.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to be rough. This is a 16.
Yikes.
Now, gaining shadow is a part of the game, so failing it is kind of to be expected. And it's not a load of shadow points that you're going to get.
Come on, extraordinary
Mr. Sixes, Mr. Sixes.
It's
another fucking 6.
But it's a 3.
Still failed.
Okay, you are all going to gain 2 shadow points.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Now remember, if you have more shadow points than your hope, you become a status called miserable.
So these go under temporary, right?
Temporary and shadow scars.
Yes, you want the temporary. You want the. I think that it's the big
one.
the big one. So yeah, 2.
I
you can
can't
put.
seem to
So
type.
temporary.
It's
you can
just
put.
temporary.
Yeah.
It would be temporary then, because you can't enter the big one.
Yeah. So it would
And I
just
don't
be
think
the
we have any
temporary
scars yet.
No, so that is going to be
Okay.
2 points of that. And then, what do you guys do next as this all happens?
If we see her having a hard time, I think.
Rush over, I'd imagine.
Yeah, like particularly like Primula said, eager to go help immediately.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Magni will very much, or Magnar will very much let them take the front for that. He doesn't know how to heal. He's about to.
I don't know.
But what he'll do is he'll very much look around. Like he's like, are we actually safe here? Like he's still a little paranoid. Like given every death and stuff, he's like, are there more of them around? Possibly somehow,
Sure.
So he's taking a look around.
Okay.
Letting
I
the
think
others go there.
Primula's sitting with Huffer and is just trying to be helpful, but isn't really because she doesn't know how to heal or anything. She's just like, is she dead?
Yeah,
Well,
I think
you
Huffer
can
in this moment just doesn't have eyes for anything but her. So he's not really alert like Magnar is, for example, and just paying attention to this.
Well, I believe when you can help somebody, and that does give them a bonus.
Support from companion is an extra
support from
D6,
companion.
believe,
Yeah. So
I can try to do that.
Yeah, so like Primula, you do that, and you can just mark that, I believe. I will look up exactly
on the
how
roll,
that works.
if you click healing, there is a support from companion thing you can just click.
Okay.
So yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, I would run over.
And then you get an extra die because if you're going to use the King's Foil, you can use that as well.
Yeah,
but it
I
would
will do
consume
that as well. I think, like, is she conscious?
So do you want to check that, or are you going to just try and go into thing?
I think first want to see if she's even conscious.
Yeah. So you go up to her, you try and speak to her, she is not conscious, and this very foul stench of goblin poison from the wounds, like the wounds have like festered. There is like this hideous slime that's coming out of the wounds. Her pallor is uncomfortable. She's very cold but very sweaty, like she's sweating even though she's freezing cold. And she's not conscious at all at this stage.
Okay, little lady. I have no time to explain. I'll explain later. But for now, is there any way you could help me? Can you assist me?
Oh, okay. I'll try my best. She'll see that she's like got a fever, and maybe I don't know if that would help, but maybe like put a blanket around her or something like that,
Sure.
or like
Yeah, you just try and do what you can, right? Like,
just
also
stuff like
you're
that.
on hand for like if say Huffer, you're going to pull these arrows out, like, you know, you're immediately there with like bandages and things like that to help. You know, you're just offering whatever aid you can.
So yeah, I think I would start by telling Prim, okay, I'm going to take these arrows out. I need you to apply pressure, and then I'm going to apply some of this, and then out of my back pocket, I grabbed a little stash of King's Foil that I got from the spirit. Not explaining to her, but showing her, you know.
Just be like, oh, okay. Like, she won't question it. She'll be like, oh, he's a ranger. He's got this stuff just
the stuff that he
away.
has. Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, so I take the arrows out, ask for a pressure, and then I apply the herbs.
Okay.
So I'll spend another hope point.
Sure.
I'm just
burn through it.
That. So I get to support from a companion, correct?
Yep. Spend a hope
I
point.
get to do a inspired.
Not inspired. Because that was on your resisting.
King's Foil?
No, so it's not count. It just adds an extra dice. I guess it's technically the same result, but just
but yes,
just for the sake of like tracking. So you can just add it at the bottom.
There's penalty.
Oh wait, you
like
can't see it,
I
can
can't
you?
see them.
Oh right.
So yeah, just do it as inspired. Yeah,
Click
just do it as
inspired.
inspired. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably the easier way of doing it. We need to fix that for you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dice. It's a big 10.
There we go. No sixes this time.
No
Where are the
sixes,
sixes,
but
dude?
I know,
it is a
what the
big
hell,
10.
Mrs. Sixes.
I mean, that would have been the roll to get the sixes. So you pull the arrows and before, but you know, as Primula goes to bandage them, you're like, nope, hold, and you clean them, use your water skin. You have to sort of dig into the flesh, and that's where the King's Foil, you start putting it into the poisoned wounds, and then you get Primula to bandage up the things like that. You spend the rest of the day with Lorwyn, this ranger. You get a small, like, you get a small campfire going. You place her beside it. You've got the blankets over a Primula. You sort of occasionally give her a little bit of water, even though she's unconscious, just like sips at a time. And after several hours, you know, this is kind of the rest of your traveling day here. You begin to hear her sort of stir, like, I need to warn the others. What is, where am I?
Mr. Huffer, I think she's awake.
Okay, I rush over just to check, and I just calm down. You've been through a lot.
She sort of looks up at you, and like her like, you know, coppery ginger auburn hair is like stuck to the side of her face with sweat, and her eyes are sunken, and she, you know, her cheeks are gaunt and sallow. She's probably been up here suffering from these wounds for like days. But she looks up at you, Huffer, and there's this kind of blink of recognition. Norandi, is that you?
Take it easy.
The orcs, the goblins, they've come from the hills to the north. they were tracking me. I didn't realize there's some sort of deal with men from the south. But something is happening here. Norandir, something awful. Orithel sent me to leave word.
What? Orithel? Okay. I need you to save your strength. But what is it?
At this point, Ragnar briefly comes back. No sign of them. Oh, she's awake. And runs closer.
There have been people, orcs and men. They are in Fornost, digging and searching. Many of them. Orithel sent me to leave message asking any rangers to come to Fornost if they can. There are a great number of them, and they... Narandir, and she sort of like reaches up to you in a sudden sort of like panicked fury, like with this sudden burst of sort of energy, and sort of grabs the edge of your cloak. Narandir, they bear the great eye. They bear the great eye painted on their skin and on their face. He has sent them.
I visibly flinch. Yeah.
Could I get one more? Could I get a wisdom roll from Huffer, aka Narandir, please?
Wisdom.
Yes, this is another shadow point roll.
All right, yeah. That like next to the under the valor one. Yeah.
Huffer has a particular
Path of despair.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean? Great eye.
I'm just like, I'm just staring into the abyss, basically, just fucking petrified.
That's when you have to stare,
yeah. Wisdom.
So it's where
right
valor was.
At the top, yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, could I argue for this one that Shadowlord would?
Yes, I will allow that. If you want to spend more hope, you are getting dangerously low on hope, my friend.
Because you know exactly what it is.
I am going through a lot right now. I think it makes sense.
Sure.
That I would in this scenario.
Sure. I love it.
So inspired 1 and 3. Come on, no more shadow. Oh boy. That's a 6 though.
That's 6.
It's a 6.
Love
success.
them 6s.
You resist whatever it is. Perhaps
Always got them.
Perhaps Narandir, it is seeing this young ranger, somebody who represents hope, like the future, seeing them so scared, seeing her so injured, and there is something in you that's like, no, I have to be a leader here. I can't give in to that despair. I can't give in to that hopelessness that sort of powers you through. What do you do, Huffer?
So Prim just asked me what that means, right?
Yeah.
So I think I would like try to just basically like you see me shudder for a moment, and then just like that 1,000-yard stare just kind of turns into a look of like resilience in a sense, and I turn to Prim, and it's like I just say, "It's the mark of the enemy. We have to hurry."
Okay.
There's a great, a strong orc, the one that leads the forces that have come from the mountains. It is
Magnar's eyes, ears just fucking...
Yeah. There you go.
They are striking out of a place north of here called Nell's Hollow. The orcs and the men, the men of the south, they follow some sort of chieftain. They are working together. This orc took my blade, a gift from Orithel, and the other supplies I was meant to bring. And they've gathered much treasure. It is in Nell's Hollow to the north. You must reclaim it. Narandir, please. You must reclaim my blade and stop them.
I will. I'm sure you have the chance yourself.
I'm too weak. But thanks to you, I will live. But you must go. On the sunrise, please. I will gather my strength and then make my way back to Bree.
Are you sure you'll be okay?
Do we want to leave her a pony?
You could do.
If we do, we're out. We're losing.
So you're still, you're still. The people that keep the ponies can still gain their benefit.
My pony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take my pony whenever you feel up to it. Ride back to Bree and warn the others.
I will. And you can see that she like looks up at you grateful, like, thank you, Narandi. I heard many stories of you.
Hollow soon. Don't you worry. We'll deal with this.
Thank you, Master Dwarf. The orcs were gloating about something that you should know. They gloated about dwarven treasures that they had taken from somewhere.
Dwarven treasures.
Yes,
I'll take those back.
Breakfasts.
Yeah. Get everyone involved. Yeah. They're taking second breakfast too, Primula, just so you know. No, but yeah, no, very much so. Like she's very much. I think Magnar was like taking a step back, sort of out of respect, seeing that this is my thing. But ultimately, when she starts talking about Nels Hollow, like that. Makes him feel like he made the right choice. Like the fact that they went here rather than north he feels vindicated in the choices they made.
If nothing else, you've saved this woman's life, right?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
And also, I should keep in mind as well, if you had like if you hadn't had that shortcut, and if you'd had like events that had cost you time, she would have already been dead, by the way.
Yeah.
I had like a window of like, if they don't reach her in X amount of days, they will find Lorwyn dead, but like a note left, basically. Like she had like a note on her that you could have found. But you managed to keep her alive.
Excellent.
The last thing she will sort of like kind of hold your cloak, Huffer, and just say, Narandi, I had heard stories about you. I thought that you had given up. I thought that you had turned your back on our duty, but now I see I was wrong.
I've lost my way over the years, but I've always still fought for the cause.
You may be the only one that can stop this now. At least tell Orithel what has happened. Thank you. And then you see she sort of like falls unconscious from just weariness and, her injuries and everything else. But we'll survive. We'll live. And the Dunedain are tough. With this healing, with the King's Foil, she will survive. This is technically the end of this first journey. Could you all make a travel roll for me, please? Let's see.
Oh, I'm so
we got a good one this time,
rolls.
please. Jesus Christ.
That's all right. You got a pony, which will help.
I no longer have a
Going
pony.
to use another.
No, but you do for this journey, because you had the pony for this journey.
There you go.
I swear to God, I'm supposed to be good at travel, and the dice will not work with me.
I'm not.
Okay.
None of us are.
None of you are. Well, listen, I got some good news, though, for you. Because I believe for that leg of the journey, you only gained 1 fatigue because you had the chance encounter.
Yeah.
But also, you all have ponies. You have Bree ponies, which have a vigor rating of 1, which reduces your fatigue of a journey by their vigor rating. So actually, you don't have any fatigue in this part of the journey. Now, going forward, Huffer will no longer have Toby, leaving that behind. So you'll have that. But that is where we are going to bring things to an end, and we will kick off with a brand new journey to Nels Hollow next time. As you have an orc to slay. One thing that perhaps just before she fell unconscious, Lorwyn would have said, she would have told you the name of this orc that the goblins chanted.
This sounds like something really has to write down.
Yeah, well, this is
I'm writing all of it down. Don't worry.
So she would have told you.
Is it Raum?
No, it is not Realm.
That's a different guy.
Different person. That seems to be connected to these wild men. Realm seems to connect to them.
Yeah.
No, she would say, the leader, the one that has organized them, the one that they have taken over Nels Hollow. They call him Garstag, the War Beast. They chant his name.
Wow.
He rules by fear and brute force, and commands wolves and orcs and goblins. But you should be wary. There is an old ranger trail that leads to Nell's Horror. It should help you stay undetected for at least part of the journey. But Garstag, they spoke of him with such fear and such loyalty. Be wary. I think that this may be a powerful foe.
He'll learn to fear the wrath of dwarf, man, and hobbit when put together.
And with that, I think we will bring our little session to an end. Oh, very good.
Clapper.
Big
Very
clapper. Nice bit of role play.
Can I just say, Naran, are so magnanimous in giving up the pony that he didn't pay for.
I know. He gave away my pony.
Oh, what a
I was
hero.
taking advantage of Magnar's riches.
What a hero. Look at this dwarf and this hobbit, man. Fail roll, fail roll, fail roll.
Fail.
Naran did
supposed to be good
just
at this.
success.
This has been
Mr.
the Huffer episode.
Non-stop. Yeah.
I love that though, because I feel like, everyone's kind of getting a little bit of time to shine, and sort of we're building this story of this. I really love the arc of this reluctant sort of downbeaten ranger who'd sort of given up, and now he's getting to kick ass and be this cool hero.
That I just used up all my luck. So.
That's I'll tell you what you've used up is half of your hope, dude.
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, you better hope you don't get any more shadow points, because that's going to be real bad.
That's right.
You can all regain 1 hope, because this will be one more evening. And also,
Kings from the game.
it's a brand new, we've just completed another game session, which means you all get 3 points of adventure points and 3 reward points, whatever they're called. I can't remember. What do they call them?
Skill points?
Yeah, skill points and adventure points. You get 3 each. Lovely. And
Very
that
nice. So we are a total of 6 on both of
each.
them now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Very
you
nice.
can't spend those until you have what's called the fellowship phase, which is after the adventure is completed. So likely by the time you've gone to Fornos and you've got the thing back and you've come back to Bree, then you can spend all of your points. And we also basically have a month, a week to potentially even 2 months downtime of rest, recovery, planning your next moves, figuring out your next adventure. And it's also a chance for you to do a load of downtime fellowship things as well. So you can forge bonds with each other. You can write songs, which you can be used on journeys and things like that. You can, source new rumors, and also do things like upgrade, gain new rewards. So grab improved gear, or perhaps should you acquire any magical items on this journey, you have a Kalen here counts as basically a Lorekeeper, a lore master, so you can spend your downtime with Kalen here to unlock the full potential of any sort of treasures that you find. So that's another thing you can do. Yes.
Remind me of what we just gained, because I got disconnected for some reason.
No worries. So you gained 3 more skill points and 3 more adventure points, and you get 1 hope back as well.
Okay, so that puts me a little bit of distance between my hope and my shadow. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, because you've got 2 shadow points, and you were at 5.
Now I'm at 6 hope.
Yeah, 6. So yeah, yeah.
6 hope.
Yeah, he's only got 10. He's only got 10 to begin with.
Oh boy.
God, you guys should spend your hope more. This is why you keep failing.
I've been
I
spending
just
hope a
have
fair
lots to
chunk,
spend. That's
How much hope do you guys have left?
I'm very
12.
hopeful.
Yeah,
I'm 11 out of
Primula is
12.
very hopeful.
Yeah.
How do you have 12 hope?
Well, because I didn't feel like I needed to roll hope on the travel rolls, because I already have 2 dice from favored and 3 from success. Oh, for
Didn't
some
help.
reason.
That's
So
the way
I
the
haven't
dice go
seen them
sometimes, man. That's the way the dice go.
I
I'm
spend
very
my
well
hope.
aware of the
I can
dice.
get extraordinary success. You guys don't spend your hope. You
I
fail.
do spend my hope. I just
Mr.
got it
Sixes.
right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
hopeful.
have to see how you get on. So the next session, by the way, will be a very short journey into Nell's Hollow because you're quite close. But then basically that's going to be a very different kind of like, it's going to be a bit more traditional D&D where it'll be like a location and you're not going to like have to move around a map, but there will be points to investigate and there will be like obstacles, but also probably one or more combat. So it'll be a bit more traditional. But we will see you for the next episode of A Glimpse of Shadow, the One Ring 2nd edition. Thank you very much to my friends Zylus, Kirsty, and Rythian, who you can find. They should all be correctly tagged on Twitch and YouTube and things like that, so you can go and check out their channels. If not, we can shout them out in chat. Go and check out both Kirsty and Rythian stream regularly on Twitch. What days do you guys stream? Like, what are your mainstream days?
I
Usually
stream...
Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it depends. Sometimes it moves around.
It moves around.
I'm usually Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and then maybe an odd one sprinkled around in the week.
Okay, nice. And then, well, Zylus, I don't think streams on Twitch, so that's why Zylus isn't tagged.
I literally stream twice a year when I feel like it.
Okay, nice.
I'm too busy with other stuff.
Yes, well, you can check out Zylus and all the great Yogscast content that we do. Organizes a lot of that and does a great job making great content and doing like TTTs and BOTCs and all of that fun stuff as well. But yeah, it's been great to play. Thank you guys so much for joining me again this week.
Thank you so much for DMing it
for
for us. It's been great fun.
My pleasure.
Such a good
Do you know
time.
what? This is like a random thing, but do you know what's really nice? Is I've been doing all of my notes for this campaign in a physical notebook, so I'm not doing any of it online, and it's actually really nice because it also forces me to improv a bit more because I don't have everything and absolutely everything like written down. But it's quite nice to just have a physical notes for the adventure. But yeah, cool. I will log off Discord and chat for a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I will speak to you very soon.
Cool. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.